All right.
Yippee!
Hello, hello. All right.
Hello.
How are you
Yo,
guys doing? I know both of you just moved recently, and I hate moving, so I'm like, ugh.
I'm like really tired, but also
yeah,
like really excited at the same time.
Yeah.
So it's
that
really
that
nice.
yeah, that sums up my experience as well with moving. Is that like it is so exhausting, like not only physically but mentally as well.
Mm-hmm.
And then yeah, just being in the constant state of tired, but being hyped to be like in a new place. It's
Mm-hmm.
always a good feeling.
Especially just
Mm-hmm.
being close to everything. It's so nice.
Yeah, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Yeah, I mean those guys are a little weird because they moved down the street from me. Little weird of you guys to like try to be so close to me. By the
I was
way,
like, hey, Shania, where are you living at? All right, hey, let's go there. Let's go the street. Let's go the block down.
yeah,
I do
yeah,
not want to
yeah,
be far from you.
Yeah, never, never.
yeah, yeah. But
That's
that's
kind
all
of
right.
nice, though. You guys get to hang out. Is it like a walking different distance, or is it just close?
If you were in shape, you could walk it,
Ah,
but if you're a Gacha player, probably not.
I've been
fair.
free for a week. I think I can walk, guys.
Hey,
Oh,
let's
you
go.
got it. Let's go.
Yeah, it's been really fun though. But yeah, definitely like Shania said, just so tiring. Like
Yeah.
after unboxing for so long, it's just like, oh my god,
Yeah, dude,
free
I
me.
hate moving. It's like one
It
of
is
the
really satisfying though.
Yeah.
worst experiences. I moved into where I live now like a year ago, almost a year and a half ago. And
Hmm.
I still have so much stuff that I just never bothered to unpack. It's like if it's not that important, like if I haven't needed
Yeah.
it by now, I feel like maybe I could just throw it away.
It's what it is.
Yeah, I
It
mean,
doesn't really matter at this
moving
point.
moving really shows you how much unnecessary shit you have, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
when I moved, I got rid of just so much stuff because it was like, this has been in my garage. I'm not doing anything with it. Like, I don't need it. Like, just get rid
Yeah.
of it.
Whatever.
Speaking of like stuff like realizing how much like little stuff you need. When I first moved down to Texas, I think I told you, I might have told you this shit yet,
Uh,
but when I first moved down here, I moved down here on a motorcycle, and the trip
yeah.
was 24 hours. So all I had were the clothes on my back, uh, and some other extra clothes.
Mhm.
And then I dedicated a whole bag. And mind you, since I'm traveling so long on such a small vehicle, I could only bring very few necessity things.
Mm-hmm.
I brought the anime figure right here. Or
Priorities.
yeah,
Yeah.
right
We're
in that
trying.
area, the white hair
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
I brought that one,
Nice.
and I was like, that bitch come with me everywhere. She's a good luck charm.
You know what that reminds me of? You know in like old cartoons when like the little kid would like run away from home and he'd get like a napkin and just put like his favorite toys and like a snack and then tie it up and put it on a stick and then run out. Like
That's
Yeah.
it's
pretty
very
much what I
that.
did.
I got everything I need. My 2 toys and my little gummies. My my
Yeah.
fruit
The
gummies.
old like stereotypical. He's got like a stick with like a cloth on the end of it,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
over
yeah,
his
yeah.
shoulder.
Yeah, yeah.
That was pretty much me, but it was like one anime figure, a shirt, and then like a Red Bull.
I mean, what else do you need? Truly, that's it sounds like you were just like running from the police or something.
I
Wanted by
mean,
the government.
I would say you didn't know LaRose wanted in 5 different states.
Yeah, like what?
You too. That's why I'm a VTuber.
Yeah, same.
Yeah. So
Oh my
Spe-
god. The
I'm on the
Wanted
FBI's most
Criminal
wanted
Podcast.
list.
Speaking of Red Bulls,
Yeah.
cracking one open for the boys. Got that white monster on deck.
Not the gamer
Oh.
subs.
I need something a little
Oh
stronger this
my
morning because
god.
we were up until like 4 a.m. playing Magic last night.
Oh wait, that's right. Yeah. Dude,
Ooh.
we were up so late.
What do you guys play?
We play Commander.
Oh, okay, okay, based. All right. I was like,
Yeah.
I can't
We do
relate to
like
y'all if you play anything other than Commander.
yeah,
Yeah.
Techie and I used to do weekly draft, which was really fun.
Mm-hmm.
But for like friends and shit, I definitely prefer Commander. It's just so much
Mhm.
more fun. You just get to play your favorite card on repeat.
Yeah. I think it's also like with a lot of the other game modes in Magic, like you kind of have to like get new cards every so often.
Yeah, it's
Right.
Where
so
like the commander cards are good
lame.
forever unless they're banned, which doesn't happen that
Mhm.
much. And also your friend group can just be like, who cares? It'll be fun.
Yeah, fuck it. House
Uh,
rule. We'll let the infinite combo go. I don't care.
yeah. How have you been liking Commander Shinya? Is it good?
It is much more fun because the only experience with Magic I have is like Magic like online, like the
Mm-hmm.
2016, 2017, like Duels of the Planeswalker, and it
Mm-hmm.
is way like Commander's way more fun. It's just it's surprisingly I thought it was gonna be more complicated, but it's way more laid back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. That's a lot of variety. The one thing is like it is very much more money equal more win.
That's what I've been saying for the longest time, but people are telling me
Yeah.
like yeah, it's a little true, but you could also like beat other decks
Mm-mm.
with budget decks.
No, they're
Uh,
coping. They're coping. It's
well,
very
especially
I
true.
will say that there is one deck that's ultra OP that's under $100, and that's the Elf deck. That's like our
Mm.
strongest deck. I would say that's the one exception to being like a OP cheap deck.
I will also say, depending on what your friend group does, like you can do proxies, so you don't have to actually like have.
Hey, that's what I do, bro.
Mhm.
Yeah.
$90 mana drain. I turn into a hot anime girl and I just put it on the card.
Yeah, like you don't have to actually own the card. You can like print out like as long as it looks like the card has like the same text, like as long as your friend group is okay with it, which it
Yeah.
seems like they are around here, you don't
Mhm.
have to spend a gazillion dollars.
And if they're not
Yeah.
okay with it, how I think of it is if I see someone play a card, I'm allowed to use that card. So if I see someone use mana drain, I'll use mana drain. Something like that. Like I don't want to like bring the OP shit or something
Mhm.
like that. And then just make it toxic.
The reason I stopped playing Magic was because we all had like kind of like a around $150 per deck rule, but one of them would buy packs instead of the actual cards, and he would just buy hundreds and hundreds of dollars of packs, and so he'd have really nice cards.
Jesus.
But he's like, well, technically
Christ.
speaking, I didn't even spend $100. Like I spent way like it was like always just this like
Technically.
technically. And so he would like, because like, can you win if you don't have the more expensive deck? Sometimes, yes. But like, he would specifically also make those like super miserable, like, I'm going to combo off and just win in like a turn
Oh
if I get
my
the right card kind
god.
of decks. And
Yeah.
so it was like miserable. And then when he wouldn't win, he would be like the biggest baby bitch about it every time.
God,
Because it
so
was like
awful.
literally it was either that he absolutely shit smashed every single other person by comboing off, or he was a crybaby and like, well, why'd you have to hit me? You could have hit somebody else, and then I lost. And it was like he was such a crybaby, and that was why I stopped playing, because he was so annoying to play with.
Ooh.
Dude, last night I saw Shinya was counter. So I let Shinya play my mono blue only counter spell deck, just dickhead deck.
Oh, ew.
And I hit Shinya for 30 damage in like 3 turns. I only attacked
Yep.
Oh, no.
And then the game went on for like, how long was it? Like 3 hours.
3.5 hours.
And then you won with like the coolest card in the whole game. It was
yeah,
so
it was a lot of
awesome.
fun.
That is cool. Yeah, no. The one type of deck that always made me really mad was the what are they called? Where they just make you discard your cards.
Mill.
Oh yeah, mill decks.
Yeah.
I'm working on a mill deck right now. The Fallout Mothman mill deck.
Yeah.
Motherfuckers with a
dude.
mill deck will get the 2-for-1 deal on these hands. I hate them so
Yeah.
bad. They're so miserable.
I think
It's so bad.
so when me, Teki, and Pink first started playing Magic, there was this one dude who had a card called Sensei's Divining Top, but he had like a combo with it where he could shuffle his whole deck in the order he wanted. But it took him like,
Wow.
I shit you not, like 15 minutes for one turn.
Oh God.
And at one point he was like, yo, do you guys care if I just like, you know what I'm doing? Can I just say I'm doing it? And we were like, nah, do your thing. You do it step by step.
You got to take
'Cause it
your
was
time,
so
bud.
bad, bro.
That's what I'm always nervous about, like playing Magic. Is like, because like I feel like the group we play with is kind of casual, leaning a little try hard. But I feel
Yeah.
like once you start getting into like the real try hard sweats, the game becomes unfun.
Absolutely.
Super.
Like everyone wants to win, but once you like start sacrificing fun for winning, it's like, what's the point?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because like my favorite deck will always be the Kali of the Vast deck that I did. It was my first deck ever, and it's literally
Such
just
a
like
cool card.
just be smashing with dragons and demons and angels, and it's basically just like cheating in cards for free. Is it complicated? No. Did I even know how to play the game when I made that deck? No. I saw, this is a cool card. I'm adding it. But like, it was so fun. And like, sometimes you would just get that crazy, just like absolutely slapping somebody to death, and it was so worth it. But the person that we played with that was so fucking annoying, he had this one card. I can't remember what it was called. It was like Golos. I think it's a banned card now.
That's the Tireless Pilgrim?
Yeah.
Wait, that card has like 90 freaking infinite combos and it's so cringe.
It did nothing but Golos combos. It was so miserable, dude.
He's such a cool. I was thinking about making a deck around him, but then I was like, oh wait, bro, this guy's so OP.
Yeah, I think he's banned now. Is Golos banned now? I think
he's been banned for like 2 years, yeah.
Yeah, I thought so. Yeah, he's a special dude.
See, for me, I don't play Magic for the style of deck. Like the play style. I like the theme of the cards more so than the play style. So like my deck is themed like Shinya style. I had like the Iron Giant in my deck, like a big robot.
Yeah.
I didn't get to play him because he got counted like 3 times, but like the idea was there.
Oopsie. It was definitely was not me.
Yeah.
So enough yapping about the Magic stuff. Oh, they already made you an Only La logo. Wow.
Wait, no way.
No shot.
No way.
Made you Only La.
I'm famous.
If you'd like to use this, I'm sure you have rights. That's so fucking funny, dude. Here you go. Oh, my fucking keyboard's dead. Holy shit.
Oh,
Whoops.
no.
It's fine. It's fine.
Wireless
It's
keyboard?
okay.
That's so weird.
I got all the girly stuff from Logitech.
Oh, okay.
It all matches. That's why
It makes
like
sense. It makes sense that you're a girl boss.
Yeah, I'm very
Girl
girl boss
bossing.
slay.
Yeah.
Except for the headset, because the headset is really bad. Logitech, I don't know if you guys, dude, Logitech headsets are so ass.
Really?
I have the G Pro headset and I love it.
Really? A lot of people have a problem where it'll just like randomly do like the most ear-splitting horrendous sound known to man, but there's the only logo.
What?
Yeah,
that's
it's
so
like
quick.
a known issue for years.
Did you guys see what my camera's on?
Oh yeah, dude,
that's
let me show
insane.
it. It's so fucking funny, dude. It reminds me of one of my mods who like at one point had their mic like strung up by wires.
Oh, that's insane.
Incredible. Look at this. Wow.
Wait, is that the Kyo? The Razer Kyo?
The mic or the camera. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Nice. I have that too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
it's a
actually
cool
also
one.
have that, but I don't use it anymore.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Anyways, we got a couple of topics today. Do you guys want to talk about the revenue report? What did you guys think?
I only glanced at it. Let me
Also, because I was looking at it before the stream.
I know love in Deepspace is insanely high, and that's a
Yeah.
problem. We need to stop. We need to stop you horny women from getting that
No,
stuff so high.
I think it's the opposite of right.
That
I hate revenue report videos. I don't usually make them and I don't watch them. I just think they're really boring. I've never liked those videos. But I made one this month because I was so excited about Love in Deepspace.
Yeah, of course you are.
Well, I actually think it's really cool. If you look back, they've always been in the top 5 since they released in January, which is crazy.
Wait, it only came out in January?
Yeah, it's only been out since January.
Oh my god. They know exactly what they're doing.
Christ.
And every single month they have been out. They have been in the top 5 of Gacha revenue.
Mhm.
But that's also because they're mobile only, so it's like all of it is aggregated toward
Yeah,
that revenue
obviously.
report. But it's still really, 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 really impressive, to be honest with you.
Oh,
Yeah.
100%.
Oh, so Genshin Impact is over Wuthering Waves. That means Wuthering Waves 1 fell off and 2 is a dog shit game. So Genshin was right all along.
I'm actually surprised. I don't want. Okay, and we're looking at this in a vacuum, guys. I'm surprised how poorly Wuthering Waves did in regards to everything else. Again, 29 million is nothing to scoff at. That is a buttload of money. That is not a failure by any definition. But only being at 29 million when we had Jinshi and Changli, kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Is that graph including the Changli banner?
My understanding is
that the one
that there was
after?
another one of those like revenue freezes, and I don't know how to verify if that's true. Because last month they said that there was a revenue freeze for a couple of days. This month they're also saying that happened during the beginning of the Chongli banner. I don't know how to verify that, so if that's like, I don't know how to check this. But to my knowledge, the first like 2 days or so of the Chongli banner is not included. Additionally, we have to remember that this is mobile only.
Yes. Yep.
And so like there is some skewing of data there where like WuWa naturally is going to have more PC players.
Absolutely.
I am concerned, and I'm going into this with zero knowledge of it, but I am concerned about the legitimacy of the numbers. Like, I know the revenue report has always been touted as like this like holy grail, like oh my god, this is all true. Like, where like does anyone fact check this? Does anyone like look into these numbers to make sure it's like right? Because from it looks like it's just like one guy doing these, right?
That's my knowledge. That's my knowledge.
Well, like
that's
where
why
is he getting
them? That's why I hate.
Yeah, like where is he getting the info? Like, it's not. I don't think it's like public, right? Like you have to like dig for it.
Well, that's why it's mobile only, because it's the most accessible information, I think.
Yeah.
You guys don't take the corporation's word at like to heart.
It's not even corporations. It's like a dude who does this.
Yeah.
Hey, I trust that.
Exactly.
It's like
I trust that guy implicitly. Whatever he says, he's right.
Okay, this is what chat is saying. Again, I can't verify anything about this, but it says Sensor Tower uses an extrapolation model. They don't have access to data. No company revealed data about their consumers. Obviously. So, like, I think that it is, like, that's why I've never liked the revenue reports, because, I think that the like, people don't know enough about statistics, and you don't actually have enough information to do actual legitimate statistical analysis on any of this. And so, like, you can just literally take the revenue data and have it say whatever you want it to say. You know, like you could literally just
the Gacha report, guys.
you could just skew it to whatever thing you want it to say based off of your like agenda or whatever. And
exactly.
Like it's like there's no fact checking. Nobody's doing statistical analysis. There's literally not enough numbers to do so. Apparently, it's like hypothetical data at best.
And maybe I'm just a doomer, but like I legitimately fear like 99% of information that's put on the internet.
Same. You should.
Especially when it comes to data especially when it comes to stuff like the same like people, like the same person or people are doing time in and time out. Because I guarantee, like this guy on Reddit, Number Locks KB, I guarantee you he's been contacted by 30 companies saying, hey, you wanna skew some data in our favor, we'll give you some money. Like I would not be surprised in any capacity.
Yeah, it definitely is. It also is like, to me, it doesn't actually say anything about like player numbers at all. Because some games like Love and Deepspace, I think we could probably agree, hypothetically speaking, that Love and Deepspace does not have like a super massive player base on the level of something like Honkai Star Rail or Genshin Impact. But it being at the top of the revenue charts is because they're very specifically pretty fucking predatory and not very free to play friendly. And because obviously it's an Otome game where you're basically wishing for like scenes with the boys or whatever. But like that doesn't actually show that they have like crazy player numbers. It just shows that they make a lot of money because they're a gacha company that's successfully doing the gacha model.
Maybe I should play Love and Deepspace. I should try it.
It's definitely not something you're not going to like if you don't have an interest in men.
Yeah.
It's definitely, I don't think anyone is really going to enjoy anything about it unless you think that men are attractive romantically and or / physically.
Yeah, but fun. Yeah, I mean,
maybe I could kiss a dude or two. Who knows?
Yeah. Like it depends on it, because I'm a totally straight guy, but I can acknowledge there is some fine fucking men in the world. Like Jason Statham. Oh my god, I would let him go to town on me, and I'm straight, by the way.
Slay. My husband feels that about Ryan Gosling.
Ew,
the one who played Ken.
Yeah,
Ken
Ryan
and
Gosling.
Barbie. Yeah, Ryan
Dude,
Gosling.
Ryan Gosling's overrated. I'm sorry to all the people who love him, but he's overrated.
I love him.
Hey, Deadpool, hey, he could go to town on me, bro.
Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah,
Ryan Reynolds is good.
Yeah, or Hugh Jackman. No bias from yesterday.
No.
But yeah, that game it's also like there is combat to it. You can auto all of the combat. except for like the training stuff, like the tutorial stuff you can't
It looked and obviously I haven't played it, but it looks so like, I don't want to say boring, but it looks like someone's like high school project where they just made a game where it's like, oh, you're gonna fight enemies in this game, okay.
Yeah, it's got a very, I mean, it's got a thing that it's there for, and it's got like a cursory thing that you can also do.
Yeah, I mean the game knows
Yeah.
what it is and who it's for, so it doesn't need to do anything else flashy.
Yeah,
Like
no.
those some of those cutscenes, I don't know how they get away with it.
With the
It's
new
Cutscenes
character for
crazy.
sure. Like the older cutscenes, they did a lot more censoring, where like you would have like a very suggestive thing being told was happening, but you'd be like looking at a window. So like bro would be
Okay.
like kind of high key giving you back shots, and you'd just be staring out at the ocean.
Yeah.
And like I think a lot of people complained about that, so they were like, okay, we'll show you some suggestive stuff. And now this dude is like throwing you on the bed
Yeah.
and like
Oh my
and like choking you
God.
out and stuff, which is insane. And like I don't understand this story at all. I'm gonna be real, because I had to do like a time skip, and so I'm pretty sure this guy did some like really truly awful stuff to like me personally, and now we're just
Silas,
like,
right?
oh, Silas, my baby
Yeah.
girl, we're in love, we live together and stuff. And it's like,
That
oh, okay.
I feel like that's such like a new trend where like girls and women are like really into like the crazy psycho killer boyfriends. Like that seems like real, like people are really into it nowadays.
Okay, all right, that is not new. First of all,
Well,
you are
I
just
don't-
only hearing
sure.
about it recently. And
Sure, it's not
second of
new,
all,
but it's like they're more into it
and
lately.
second of all, Silas is actually the nicest to us and is the most respectful
Oh.
and thoughtful of us out of all of the boys, in my opinion.
He's a nice guy.
He's actually
He's
very
a nice
nice.
guy.
It's
He's
just
a
our
nice guy.
original meeting is supposed to be us taking vengeance or some shit. We do shoot him in the
Mhm.
chest. So to be fair,
Oh.
there's a tip for tat there. But it's actually not a new thing, and I wanted to run a theory that I had about Love and Deepspace with you guys. You guys know that girls be reading porn, right?
All the time. That's all
Yeah.
they read. Every time
Yeah.
you see
No way.
no,
Yeah.
listen,
No, it's
Loro,
like it's such a thing.
anytime you see a woman with a Kindle, she is reading smut. I promise.
Yeah, there's nothing else you're reading. It's either like historical erotica, it's fairies, dragons, aliens, and like a lot of
Yep.
it is like free too. So there's just like an endless supply of nasty shit you can read on your phone.
I
There-
legitimately think I legitimately think if you were to sit down for the rest of your life, you would be able to continuously read smut until the second you died.
Oh, for sure, yeah, and it would be, most of it would be absolutely god awful, but
Yeah.
it's like it's kind of funny because these are like novels, because there's obviously like fan fiction archive of our own stuff, but these are like actual like published novels that you can read.
Right.
That's
that you can get for free.
crazy.
And so like
Yep.
women this is like super common. And I think it like started becoming more of a talked about thing on
Yeah.
TikTok, but it like started becoming more of a
Book
specific
talk.
trend around 50 Shades of Grey.
hmm
And so I think that Love and Deepspace has a potential to reach a normie market that has been untouched by Gacha, because we can get the lady gooners into Gacha games.
I think for them to do that, they would have to make a novel, like transition away from Gacha to get people introduced into the world.
I
into
don't
the
think they have
characters.
to. I think they just have to do
Really?
some smart marketing. I honestly,
Maybe.
legitimately, as an experiment, was thinking about making like some TikToks talking about it and being like, book talk
Oh
girlies!
no.
Look at this! Because
It's-
I think if the book talk girlies got their hands on this game,
Mhm.
that like they're so voracious. Like think of like the yaoi
Yeah.
fans and all of that stuff. Like I think that this actually, because the thing about it is too, is it doesn't have like an anime like stylization of the animation
Mhm.
really. It's meant to be pretty realistic looking. And so like it doesn't have that kind of like automatic turn off to like normies that it's anime.
Mhm.
And this new character has that like bad boy thing that most
Yep.
of book talk really enjoys. But it's not too bad. It's pretty, we'll say it's for book talk pretty vanilla.
Well, I
Yeah,
was
I'm not
just
gonna lie, I
saying.
am so lost right now, but like I get reading hot manga.
Yeah.
I'd be doing that shit.
Yeah, imagine
say-
being on like public transit doing
Yeah.
that. Like
Yeah.
on N
Oh,
hentai
man,
or
that sounds-
something.
That sounds
Yeah.
like a freaking race.
Yeah,
book
yeah.
talks-
Adrenaline.
Book Talk's
Yeah.
favorite men is all the men over on Bike Talk, on Motorcycle Talk. So
Yeah, boycott.
I don't even really use TikTok anymore because of TikTok Shop. I just hate it, and I hate.
I
being-
love TikTok. That's so funny. We were just talking about this last night. TikTok Shop
I hate it.
rocks.
Yeah.
all
It's so
the useless stupid shit I buy on there is so funny.
You buy stuff off of TikTok
Dude, he
Shop?
he has
100%.
such a cool shirt. He has
Oh
such
my
a cool shirt.
god.
That's from there.
Oh.
It ain't even that bad. It's not bad. Just think of it as like Wish or Temu. That's all it is. It's basically like that. I fuck with Wish and Temu, by the way.
I guess for me, what it is I don't like the way that content creators are incentivized to bait people in to an advertisement because they have to reach a minute or else it's not going to be shown on the algorithm basically at all. But they still need to advertise their thing. And I don't like being baited into like content and then it being like, and here's this vitamin that you can buy on from someone. It has something in it. It should help you, I think.
It has whatever.
We're content creators. We kind of do the same thing at the end of the day. It's like the same realm. It's the same realm. I'll put it that way.
I don't think so.
With sponsors, 100%.
With sponsors, yes, but sponsors have to be specifically disclosed, and it's usually a section of a video, or it's the whole video, but it's all disclosed.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a choice there.
You have to disclose it on TikTok as well. You have to. If you don't, it's against the law.
With TikTok Shop, it's just something that's like put on the screen. But I just think it's annoying. I think it encourages like, shitty content. Is my thing. Is it like it's not fun content, and I don't like that part. And like I have a TikTok account where I was posting for a long time. And it literally spams me like multiple times a day to start doing TikTok Shop stuff. And it's just like, I don't think this is incentivizes very honest behavior, I'm going to be honest. I don't like it. I don't know.
I don't think content creators are really any different at the end of the day.
I think it depends. I think there's nuance there, but
sure.
Love it, Deepspace slaying. Did you guys see GachaSmack's video about the Gacha revenue report? I wanted to know what your thoughts were. So essentially GachaSmack, I'm going to try and summarize it. Check and tell me if I'm summarizing it well. Essentially GachaSmack says that the Zenless Zone Zero, the amount of money that Zenless Zone Zero made in July is not necessarily all that impressive because overall Hoyoverse made the same amount of money that it normally does. Because both Honkai Star Rail and Genshin Impact suffered severely, had less half the revenue as usual. Half the revenue at least is last month. And so Zenless Zone Zero kind of stepped on them to make that money, but they didn't overall make more money than normal. And so
it just kind of all went to a different game as opposed to their other two usual games.
Basically.
Okay,
and sense. So basically his concern is that over time that they're not actually capturing new markets. And so it could just be that they're just kind of splitting their fan base rather than bringing in new money, new people that will be, beneficial and actually means that they're making more money each month. If that makes sense.
I don't think any game outside of maybe Genshin was able to capture a significant portion of new people throughout its time, at post-launch, that is.
Right.
Just because so many people had nothing to do during COVID and all that.
Exactly. Yeah. And because Genshin became the normie game, right? That's what it was touted for, how accessible it was and how the barrier of entry was so little. I think that I don't even think that's even something that we're worried about specifically with Wuthering Waves. I think that's something that's the golden key for the gacha market is how do you get new blood into your game? Because that's the only way that you're going to survive. Because
100%.
More players are going to quit than are going to sign up, and your game's eventually just going to die. I mean, I don't think, again, that's not something to worry about. If a company figures that out, they're going to be a golden goose.
I guess it's not so much a worry. It's more so my take on it is, or I guess my interest. It's not really I'm not super invested in this concept, but to me, the whole Hoyoverse business plan seems to be we're going to make different kinds of games to capture different kinds of markets, right? So we make Zenless Zone Zero for a particular kind of market. They're working on a bunch of other games.
Yeah, the Hoyoverse.
Yeah, so we're making the Hoyoverse to capture different markets with each of our games. That is a really good strategy if you're actually bringing anybody new in, right?
100%.
It's a great strategy if you're actually bringing in new people into the Hoyoverse because then they can, mingle around in the other games. Yeah. However, if you're just kind of splitting the same pie over and over and over again, you're having more slices, but there's not more pie, you know? And so, like, at a certain point, if they can't bring in new players, are they just splitting their player base and causing fatigue and like making people more choosy around their money? Because like it's also that Hoyoverse games are so like stingy and like not very giving, and so it's like over time, is it an actual benefit to continuously make new games trying to capture new audiences if you're not actually capturing new audiences?
So I both agree and disagree with that statement. Like it is completely obvious that one of the main reasons that Genshin and HSR did poorly, because look, HSR went from 95 million to 35 million. Granted, Firefly banner, everyone knew Firefly banner was going to break records. So that 95 million is a little bit of an outlier. But again, seeing Genshin Impact go from 67 million to 36 million. Everyone knows that has half a brain cell. A lot of the money that was going to be spent on Genshin or Honkai was spent on Zenless Zone Zero. That's right. I would say that's a fact, even without all the data in front of us. Anyone with critical thinking can say that. That being said, I 100% think Hoyo is doing the right thing with making all these different games, because I think the more games and the more like differing play styles you have, the more likely you are to capture that new audience. So while yes, they are losing money on other games because they're spending it on a different game, like at the end of the day, like it's still the same company, right? The money is, as long as the money stays in-house, yeah, there's different production teams and different budgets and things like that, but Hoyo is like keeping that money in-house, which I think is probably the most important thing.
Like sort of like a big cycle where they just kind of keep, like, the players give the money, the company puts the money into the game, and then they spend money again, and then they keep circling around like a big loop.
As long as they stay within that circle, Hoyo's happy.
I think it's fair, personally, to first of all consider there's not enough data to be able to tell if this is a problem or real or anything like that. This is 1 month, right? Yep. And it's also fair to be aware of the fact that Honkai Star Rail and Genshin Impact both kind of had poop-ass banners. Agreed. It was that new 5-star water little kid character in Genshin and some reruns. And then Honkai Star Rail had, I think, the end of Firefly's banner and Jade, which Jade is a pretty fucking niche pick, and not entirely, not a really big sale. They were both pretty poopy banners, and so people like it makes sense that they didn't spend as much. They wouldn't spend that much either way.
I'm gonna go a step further and say them having poopy banners for this month was on purpose.
Oh, 100%.
Because they wanted people to spend on CCC.
Dude, and then they talk about Fei Xiao and like Ling Sha and Honkai Star. I was like, bro, they're setting up 100%.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, I'm gonna go a step further. I'm gonna put my tinfoil hat on.
Oh my god!
Okay, so everyone's aware of 1.2 Wuthering Waves, the characters, right? The chick and the guy with the robot. I think we're gonna get skins in WuWa on 1.2, or a skin or two.
Ooh,
I would really like that. Bunny Girl.
That would be fun.
That's probably hopium, but with how, and I'm gonna say it, those characters are weak as fuck. With how weak those two characters are,
I hate the two new characters.
They gotta do something. If they don't release a skin or release something, I'm not looking for. WuWa 1.2 gonna be rough.
A Terminator for the dude with the robot arm would be crazy. A Terminator skin for him would go like
that still wouldn't even sell them. They have to make a bunny skin or something crazy to not completely fall to the bottom of the revenue charts.
Yeah,
I think that would be very nice. I don't think that they're going to be doing that because they've just been kind of sluggish on everything. So far, marketing-wise, everything-wise, it's just been very sluggish and like behind the curve, essentially. If so, I'd be delighted. I feel like that's probably not going to happen, but I'd be very delighted depending on the skin. But like, I guess really the question that I have is like, do you think that there is a possibility for gacha games to break the normie market again, or was that something that was kind of relegated to COVID and Genshin and kind of the circumstances around Genshin? And what do you think it would take? Like, I'm genuinely asking, because this has been something that I've been talking about for months, and so I'm delighted that somebody else is talking about it that's bigger than me.
Yeah,
But like
I
I'm just curious.
I don't see it unless someone switches up the formula with the games.
I would say something crazy. I was having like Lord of the Rings coming out with a gacha or something like so dumb.
Even that, I don't see it. There's been like popular IP. Yeah, there's been like popular IP gacha games, and the issue is like even if a Lord of the Rings gacha game came out, like the Western audience wouldn't give a fuck, even though they love Lord of the Rings. Like look at the Gollum game, dude. A game centered. I mean, granted, it was.
It was
But
a
Gollum game came out and it flopped. Like it had the Lord of the Rings IP attached to it and it still flopped.
Yeah.
So they would have to do something crazy, or make it like again
like a small amount of gacha or something. Like really,
I was just saying, we're getting into the debate is like, is gacha a genre or is it a monetization model? Which begs the question. But yeah, I don't think
it's
so.
A genre.
I think it's like what, like live service and gambling for the characters you play.
Yeah, I mean,
it's not a genre ultimately,
no.
but I mean, it is. I mean, the thing is like language changes and like the meaning of things change. But I think gacha has become a genre because people push it so much. It's not a genre, but it's sort of widely accepted as one now.
Yeah, people that put stuff into bubbles.
Yep.
Yeah.
This isn't a gacha. Out.
Yeah, I think to break the normie market, there would need to be very specific circumstances around that maybe can't be replicated. But one of them could just be tricking normal people into thinking that it's a regular game.
Well, yeah, I mean, like look at FIFA, like right, FIFA, like you buy FIFA packs that like unlocks characters for you. That's a sneaky way of becoming a gacha game for the Western audience that people eat the up. That being said, specifically with like the hype of Genshin, I don't think we will really see anything like that again unless another pandemic happens, because I think Koyo captured lightning in a bottle. They were in the right place. They were in the right place at the right time.
Yeah. It was really funny about FIFA too, is people make fun of everybody. If you tell somebody you play FIFA, you get made fun of, bro.
Yeah. So I guess the question is gacha in a perpetual state of more or less plateau or decline forever now?
I would say so. I mean,
I can't see it like tapping into new people. Like I can't think of someone who would be like, I've never played a gacha before. Let me play Hakastaro.
I would love to get addicted to gambling. I think that'd be
right.
fun.
Yeah. No, I think it's something you get like attached to when you're like you have a moment you're like, I love gambling. Like Magic Card.
I love this.
You have to have a core memory of the rush.
Yeah, unless something revolutionary comes along, which like completely redefines how the genre works, and if people think of like something new or some like new way to do gacha, I mean I think that this is gonna be the cycle for the next 10, 20 years until we get like, if we get like a good like VR gacha, that might go crazy, right?
Yeah,
like,
I think the only thing that anybody.
Yeah.
I mean, VR Love and Deepspace gacha game, but not 12 plus.
Wait, Love and Deepspace is 12 plus?
Yes.
Dude, Nikkei's like, isn't Nikkei like 15 plus or something?
I think Nikkei's also 12 plus, if I'm not mistaken.
That's wild.
That can be 12. I would love to be fact checked on that, but I believe it is.
Yeah, it's like 12 to 16 or something. I forgot.
Yeah, but no. Specifically, Love and Deepspace is 12 plus. Oh yeah, DK is 12 plus, at least in the US.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. So I guess
God,
this is,
that is wild.
Yeah. Well, that's why a lot of it was so censored before. But people were like, I don't want to pay for this memory if I don't get to see the shit. I don't want to look at the window. And so they changed it around. So a lot of it is very like suggestive. They don't directly say that much. And it's usually not specifically like a sexual scenario. It's just a very thinly veiled, like, this is the reason that you need to feel up on this man. There's a good reason, I swear. You need to feel up on him for a very valid, logical reason.
You need to feel his heartbeat because he's cold and he might have hypothermia.
Well, do you guys think an 18 plus adult gacha game would do well?
No.
Yeah, I think it'd be kind of hard to market, because if you have like boobies and shit out like that, there's only so many places you can market.
Yeah. I think gacha games rely a lot on content creators in the West specifically.
Sure.
Like for marketing and stuff. A lot of people always want to tell me that content creators are not important to these games, but for gacha games specifically in the West, it is a huge deal. And the fact that you wouldn't be able to play it anywhere would be a
Yeah.
massive, massive problem for them I mean, they could probably make a lot of money if it's good enough.
Mhm.
But I
Yeah.
don't think that it would have any wide amount of success like
Yeah, I think
video games.
I think you said something very interesting, which a lot of people I don't think don't realize is that like I hate to say it, but like content creators really control the ebb and flow of games that the general populace plays, which is fucking bonkers to me.
Mhm.
Because any game that like isn't being actively streamed, people dead game. Like Wuthering Waves right now, I think it has like 1,000 people in the category. Oh, Wuthering Waves is a dead game. Oh, I'm not gonna play that. No one's playing it.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember Cookie Run Kingdom was popping off for like a week because Techie was streaming it and just pushing it so hard.
Exactly. Yeah.
And then that actually got like 5 viewers right now.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love Cookie Red Kingdom.
Yeah.
Well, it's like just think of like Queso with Dress Up Darling.
Yep.
I don't know if you guys have
Exactly.
seen that. He's been playing this
Oh my
like
God.
dumb
Shitty!
modeling
Yeah.
freaking
Oh,
Roblox
I've seen
game.
it. It's
And
so
like
good.
you know, obviously like Roblox is not gonna have all that much attention on it in general, and definitely not this like
Mhm.
random modeling video game, you know.
Yep.
However, if you go into Roblox right now, there's probably like, several hundreds of thousands of people currently playing Roblox Dress Up Darling because
Yep.
Queso was playing it.
We are guys. All right, we need to make a Roblox game. I'm just gonna say it. We got to make a Roblox game. We'll be millionaires if we make a good game.
Roblox.
True.
Like, unironically, the people that develop those Roblox games that like become popular literally like make millions of dollars.
Is that
Wait,
true?
really? So if you just
Yes.
play, Roblox pays you if people play your game
Well,
like
you
that?
pay,
So-
you can buy stuff in the games.
You
like,
you need monetization. I'm pretty sure you need monetization within your game that you make to make
Mhm.
money. Although they probably do pay you
Oh.
residuals even if it's a free game. If I had to guess.
Roblox
Yeah, just
for
for
Dress Up
people like-
Darling, you can buy VIP, which
Yep.
gives you access to more outfits, and you can get faster walking speed, which is a really, really stupid pay to win thing. That you
Wait,
can just
that's
walk faster
insane.
so that you can get dressed faster.
Just to
And-
make it more efficient to walk around the dress
Yeah.
room.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so, like, I imagine they probably do make a lot of money off of that because it's like, Mom, can I pay $5 to get VIP and Dress Up Darling, please? Well,
Yeah.
you're
You
not
pay
playing any
$5 to
violent
get good
games. Here you
cardio.
go.
That's so funny.
Yeah, it's very interesting, but yeah, I do think that content creators really do have a lot more like power over that than you would guess. But it's also, I think, for
Mhm.
Gacha specifically, because you mentioned Wuthering Waves. With Wuthering Waves, it's hard because it feels like thus far in the release cycle, as much as I like WuWa, there's either something happening or there's fuck all nothing happening,
Yeah.
and there's like
Yeah.
no in between.
Yeah, I mean that's like the gacha cycle ultimately, right? It's like
Yeah,
it
I guess
sucks.
so.
Yeah, it's you play the new patch for a couple days, you pull the character, all the hype is around it, and then 2 days later it's basically a dead game. But
Yeah.
I mean that's the I don't know. I hate to be like, oh, that's the norm, but like it kind of is, right? Like
It feels worse in WuWa, I think, sometimes because they don't do as much outside of game marketing stuff either. Like,
Oh, agreed. Yeah.
there's stuff to pad out Genshin Impact and Honkai Star Rail because there's like marketing and stuff, so you can still like there's still hype that is built and and it reminds you
Like
that you want to
videos
play.
and all that, the trailers and all
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
Yeah,
trailers and
yeah,
stuff
okay,
like
yeah.
that. There's a
I
lot
see
more
what
of
you mean.
that. They usually like WuWa has kind of like rammed all of those like kind of right before the new patch update, which means that there's not
Yep.
as much like reminding people like, hey, WuWa's cool. You should prepare
Yeah.
for that new thing that's happening. WuWa's
WuWa still
neat.
exists.
Where I
You
think
should log in.
WuWa's has more perfected like keeping people in the categories sometimes because they have that like more regular like trailer stuff, you know?
And what's crazy to me is that like Kuro has made a significant amount of money over the last few months on WuWa. Like they there's no reason for them that they can't just even pump out like low tier content. Just get something for us to be thinking about your game and want to log onto the game.
Yeah.
Because I'll tell you what, like if I see like I'm just randomly browsing Twitter, if I see like, oh, HSR has this new thing, it's like, oh, I should log in HSR and check that out. And that's how they get you. That's the bait, right? The bait to get you to log in. WuWa doesn't have anything like that currently.
They barely ever post on Twitter too.
Yep.
Like their overall marketing is just a little bit lacking. Where Zenless Zone Zero posts like most days, and they'll post like 7 times. Like they'll just post a ton of stuff all at once.
Yep.
And they do all the trailers and all of that stuff, but like I feel like WuWa doesn't do as good of a job of like reminding their player base, like, hey guys, King Jangling Keys,
Yep.
guys, look, there's still
Jingle, jingle.
it's cool,
Jingle,
jingle,
jingle.
wee, 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 wee,
Jeez.
woo.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, and so like we still have only gotten PNGs of the 2 characters that are releasing in the next update,
Which is insane to me.
which
So
is
like
crazy.
how with how important it is to get your people to pull for the new characters, like, because that's where 99% of their income is going to come from nowadays, is the new character releases, because no one's logging on to spend $100 on the standard banner. No one's logging on 3 weeks after Chong-Li came out to pull her. Like, it's all within that first few days, and it's like, why are they not hyping us up more and more as we get closer to the release date? Like, we got basically radio silence with Chong-Li and Jinshi coming out. It's like very, very little marketing or very little hype. Didn't like the Chong-Li like announcement video come out like the day she came out? Like, or
It was
one
like
of them
the day
did.
before or something.
Yeah,
It was very, very
insane.
quickly. Yeah.
Ugh. Yeah,
It was
and
very
Yin
quick.
Lin didn't even come out until she came out, like, or like
Yeah,
the hour before.
hers came out like at the same time, I think, if I
Yeah.
remember correctly.
It's like shit like that. Like, what are you guys doing over there?
Yeah, I don't know if they do it differently in other regions, if they're marketing more heavily in like in Asian countries, Eastern countries, or what. But like, I think that it's really bringing to light how much Hoyo's like marketing specifically is so valuable to the games.
Oh yeah.
Because it just like it reminds you, hey, look at that cool thing that you like. There's still stuff to do in there. Go do that. Like, why are you sitting here on Twitter? Go play Zenless Zone Zero.
Well, yeah,
Chang-Li
especially, like,
needs your help pre-farm
yeah.
for it.
Yeah. Like, oh, you got to pre-farm for that new character, and it's like, I mean, the new characters were shown in a PNG once weeks ago, several, more than 2.
Wait, that's insane. That's not plural.
And we still have not seen the full character models. We have had
Yep.
no trailers. We have no new information. There was a little bit of sneaking around the painter girl in the story, but like we've gotten nothing. And when is that update happening? It's soon, isn't it?
Probably within the next 2 weeks, if I had to
Yeah,
guess.
and we've had
Yeah.
like nothing. And like, dude, the amount that they tweet is crazy. And it's like, is the marketing everything? No. And are still people playing? Yes. But like keeping hype among the community is incredibly important. And they kind of just don't. Like, I just want to look at WuWa really quickly, like how much they've actually been like tweeting and stuff like that, is like, because like this is stuff that people can cover. Oh, they put out a new chibi version of the painter girl.
But it's like
But it's like nothing. Like
when there's literally millions of things constantly fighting for your attention in the 2024 internet landscape, you have to be doing the same exact thing that everyone else is doing. You have to be bombarding your people with ads. You have to be showing sneak peeks and showcases and just little things here and there to keep Wuthering Waves at like the front of mind. And Hoyo, for as much as people like to shit on Hoyo knows what the fuck they're doing when it comes to marketing, when it comes to building hype. As much as people like to shit on Hoyo, there's a reason they're a fucking giant fucking corporation making money hand over fist. We may not like the games, but they're still making money more than anyone realizes, I think.
Also, that tweet for Wuthering Waves of Chang-Li and Jinsi playing a board or the board game that's a good one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's pretty, but it's like, okay, I just counted. So they announced the 2 new characters July 8th with a PNG, just the PNG that they do for their announcement characters, right? There have been 24 posts since then. In a month, there have been 24 posts, which I'm just gonna be honest is just not enough for this kind of thing. And they had not tweeted again about these 2 characters until literally 8 hours ago with one new PNG of the girl character in a chibi form talking about giving you some shell credits.
And WuWa 1.2 is in 2 weeks, by the way, August 15th. So
like that's just like that's kind of insane. That's really just not enough. And like this Twitter stuff maybe doesn't seem like that big of a deal, but that's stuff that people get excited about legitimately, especially after like we're kind of like conditioned by Hoyo, like, oh, the Twitter stuff, yip 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 yum 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 yum. I got the bells ringing, I salivate kind of thing. And like they're just not doing that. And I think it actually will like continuously hurt the game over time. And it's like so interesting seeing how different it is between a corporation that does know how to utilize their marketing really like effectively versus like a realistically better game than Genshin Impact that doesn't know how to market as well. It like the difference is pretty staggering.
Yeah, completely agree.
Yeah, like I always enjoy the Wuthering Waves trailer so much, but like it just feels like I only remember like there's like 2 trailers they've come out with or something like that. Or it feels like it. It's just so annoying because the trailer's always so cool.
They do have nice trailers, but it's like if you think about like the hype trailer stuff for like Honkai Star Rail, Sparkle had like 3 of them, and they were all insane. And everybody like, and also those videos did well for like everybody because everybody wanted to see all the content creators' reactions because they were so cool. It's like, oh my god, I gotta see Legion's react, I gotta see Laro react, I gotta see everybody react to the same thing because it's like, oh my god, this shit is insane. I need to know what they said. And like, it's just like not really having that effect. And it's like, I love the game, but I was concerned about marketing for this game before it even released, and it makes me a little sad seeing like how like they could just be doing so much more with it. But I'm hoping that over time, obviously, they get better. It just makes me wonder, like, is it going to be too little too late by the time they catch up on some of this stuff?
And they can't even use the lack of money as an excuse anymore. Like they've probably made close to 100 million off of the game since it came out. There's no way it has to be a money thing. We've always known they've lacked some issue with like foresight over there and like and like exactly what they want to do and like what vision they want. So I don't know. Maybe they're having problems internally that we don't know about, and which sucks. And I hope they figure their shit out. Again, 1.1 didn't have a live stream. 1.2 probably ain't gonna have a live stream either.
I don't think they're gonna be doing live streams except for like anniversaries and special things, which is
they just give up after that one live stream.
Well, that's how they did PGR, I believe.
Yeah,
but it's just not enough.
Yeah, I mean, especially nowadays with like, so here's the thing, like when you're direct competition, because let's be real, Hoyo and Genshin and HSR is the direct competition of WuWa.
Absolutely.
When your direct competition is doing something, you either got to do that same thing. If it's a good thing, you got to do the same thing or do it better. And just not doing it, wild to me. Insane.
Yeah. No, I agree completely. And it's like, it just worries me because like, obviously it's normal that there's a drop off in the middle of the patch, like, or middle to end of the patch. Like that happens in every gacha game. That is normal. But it just feels like such a, like a steep, like you can just slap the fucking bottom of a pit so fast because they don't pad out like hype and excitement. It's just like, okay, 5 days before we're gonna start marketing it, the new patch, and in the middle of that time, you've basically forgotten that we exist. But here you go. Here's all this shit.
Yeah,
like I think it's not good for over time.
It's like when I finished the Changli quest, I was like, well,
there's the content.
Now what do I do?
I pulled for Changli and I did the story quest. Good story quest, by the way, but it was just like, well, that's all there is to do. All done. Yippee.
So sad.
Yeah, but I mean, that's true for every gacha game to an extent. I'm sure people in the YouTube comments are going, every gacha game is the same. There's always a dead patch. But I do think legitimately that it feels like, it feels worse to me in Wuthering Waves.
And I don't think, and I'm going to say something maybe controversial. I don't think you can afford to have a dead patch as a new game in a space that there is a gorillion gacha games trying to vie for your time. You can't afford it.
Yeah.
One bad patch could be the end of your game. Let's be real. Because
like,
the
early
second
on, especially too. Early
on.
Yeah.
Because like what's this like the number for it? It's like what 27 days for someone to build a habit reliably and stick to that habit. Like if you don't keep someone like logging in at least just daily just to see what's up. Then
There's
it's like
too much competition now.
People are just
Oh yeah.
There's just, and then it's only going to get worse with NTE and
Azure Familia is right down the street. Yeah.
Project Mugen, if that's real, which I feel like it's not. There's
there's
a lot, and I will say honestly, NTE has already had like really delightful marketing thus far. That has been,
I'm
very
so
exciting.
Like
I am so hyped for NTE. I think they've already done a fantastic job, and they've literally not even announced like if and when there's a beta test or anything. Like, it's just
Yeah,
been like, look
dude.
at all the cool
I just
thing.
want to drive on the road, obey traffic laws, and listen to just Midnight City for like 12 hours.
Yeah, dude, it's so cool. And like, they've already reached out to content creators. Like, I actually got to do a sponsorship for them the other day on stream, which
Oh,
was super
nice.
cool.
Nice.
Which like was like kind of it was a little bit like I guess humbled, I guess. But like, they're already reaching out to content creators. They're already making it so clear that they're listening to the community and they're aware of issues and stuff. And like, their marketing has also been just really nice. So I'm really excited for that.
Mhm.
And so like, but like, I do agree there is a certain amount of like, you just can't be less than the best, doing the most, like taking every opportunity to put yourself ahead above is like very important. And it is worrying over time the way that WuWa has not hit it out of the park with some of the marketing stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah. And like, because their character designs are so cool and all that, and the game could be
Yeah.
like, I feel like a lot of people, like, not like a lot of, no, new people wouldn't play Wuthering Waves, but like, just the designs are really cool. I feel like we'll just get people who normally don't play games like Wuthering Waves to play it. I don't know.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think
Just because I like the
WuWa.
design so much,
Yeah,
I
I
would
think
get someone played for that.
WuWa has a particular ability, in my opinion, if they could, to reach out to people who like games. You know,
Yeah, just like people who aren't
gamers.
mentally sick gamblers.
Yeah, who just want to see boobies. Like, I think it does
Yeah.
have enough gameplay and enough merit to its gameplay that it could, but with the marketing, it's just very difficult right now to
So
even
sad.
Yeah,
to
and
even keep like, it's not looking good.
Because like
I'm nervous
Wuthering,
for 1.2.
yeah, because Wuthering Waves is like the kind of game where like I could go to a normal friend group and be
Mhm.
like, "Yo, I played this game," and then you show them some of the gameplay, and it's like, "Oh wait, this looks kind of cool."
Yeah, I
Mm.
agree. I agree completely, especially like
But
with
then you
all the
show
parry
someone like,
systems and stuff.
yeah, you show someone like HSR, and unless you're, I don't know, playing
Persona
Blade or
fan.
something, yeah, or Persona
Yeah.
fan, yeah, something like that.
Yeah, no, I think that's very true. But it's very interesting. I do want to talk about NTE though, because I think that game looks really fun.
I'm
Like,
so
how are
excited.
you? How are you? What are you like? What is really exciting you about their stuff so far? Like with their marketing and everything.
I would say one. I found this on ZZZ. I'm a huge fan of the impact frames that they use, and they use those for like
Okay.
every time a new character came in. It was like a
Mhm.
badass impact frame.
Yeah.
Somewhere in there, and I'm a sucker for those. But I would say I'm also a big fan of like I played a hella GTA 5.
Mhm.
I like being able to customize. When I saw the main cast pull up to Los Santos Customs and get their car tripped out, I was like, "This my
Yeah.
game!"
Yeah.
And like
I
when they pull up to the
really,
apartment, is so cool.
yeah. I really want, and it was an open world game. We can acknowledge that,
Yeah.
but it does feel dead. A lot of the places you go to, there's only obviously the one like main city. There's a couple other like city hubs, but like I don't know, like it just feels empty. It feels barren. Like even going to the main capital, it's like, yeah, there's people standing around, but like they're really like the ambiance isn't there. There's not like in correct me if I'm wrong, there's not like people like walking around or like living their day to day life. Like that's what I feel was so cool about NTU is that like it
Mhm.
feels like a living, breathing world, and like things are happening around you. You can go into a convenience store, like the automatic doors slide open when you walk in, like little shit like that.
Dude, the really big hit for me was when you go into the convenience store, you don't hear the same level of music. You hear music you would hear, like, it sounds like you were in a convenience store. Like, like a
Yeah, that was
muffled sort of like
super cool.
echoing.
Mhm.
That gets me. Sound is
Yeah.
huge
Yep.
for me in Gacha games.
Yeah,
Agreed.
I agree. I think NTE. Honestly, it's just like I think I've started to feel just like I just don't want any more of the like Breath of the Wild style of open world games.
Agreed. Yeah.
I don't want.
Yeah.
I think WuWa was the great like attempt at doing that kind of thing again, and I don't think I want any more of it. I think that was enough. I think it's. I think WuWa really shines in terms of its traversal and not so much in terms of its like open world variety of experiences and stuff like that. But I'm very excited for the open world urban metropolis
Yep.
setting. I think it looks really cool. I think it's really exciting. They also, if you guys saw the dev interview that they did they really
Mhm.
talked about like wanting to imbue like a lot of options, like different choices to make, like things that actually affect how you play the game, where they're
Oh,
like
that
Mhm.
would be
you can choose
crazy.
Yeah.
to own your business and run your business, or you can choose to do like part-time work
Dude, do you know
kind
how
of
cool
thing.
it would be to like, you know how you do like drug runs in GTA 5?
Yeah.
Imagine having to do runs like that in that game. I would love that.
Yeah, no, it
Yeah.
looks really cool. Like it
That'd be
seems like there
fun.
are like choices that actually affect how you play the game over time and stuff like that, which I'm super duper hype about. I think that
Mhm.
sounds so cool.
Yeah.
Because like gacha games have the choice in gacha games is to pull or not to pull, and
Kinda,
otherwise everything else is predetermined. And
yeah.
so it makes me really excited the fact that there could be a gacha game where you have a little bit more of like a choice in your daily experiences, which is really neat.
Mhm.
And also the whole like Unreal Engine 5 stuff with like the seamless transitions is really, really interesting to me. I think it's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that surprised me too. There was like no loading screens the whole time. You just walk into your apartment and you just walk
Yeah.
into Los Santos Customs. That's what I'm calling it from now on. I don't know what it's called. I'm just calling it Los Santos Customs.
And
Yeah.
like that like sort of like open world and like freedom to like move about is like what I really feel was missing from ZZZ. Is like
Mhm.
the world just feels so fucking small in ZZZ. It's like it's unreal. Like yeah, there's like 12 different areas to go to, but like they're all like you can get to from one end to the other in like 30 seconds of walking. Um and again, we got like the open world in WuWa, but again, like it's not like it's an open world, but there's nothing there, right? Like it's a
There's
lot of
either
walking
nothing or
around.
something kind of thing. It's
Yeah.
like it's
Yeah,
either
yeah,
there's something
exactly.
there or it's grass.
I feel like the most ambient spot in Wuthering Waves is when I go to cook my daily food. Because you can hear the pots boiling, you can hear the people like
Yeah,
chattering in the background. It's like
right,
people eating
right.
food on the tables. I think that's the most liveliest, like the most immersive spot in the game for me. But like,
Yeah,
if I'm not there, I'm like not giving a fuck.
I really
Yeah.
wish WuWa leaned more into like the real post-apocalyptic shit. Like we should
Mhm.
see ruins everywhere. We should see like cars and just
Like
like
meteor showers happening. We gotta
yeah,
dodge a
like
fucking meteor in the middle of
just
nowhere.
just like stuff out in the world and I you know I know some people pointed this out early on of like how the world felt empty and it's just like you know the longer you spend in a world the more you notice like the lack of things like this because like the shorter you spend in the world the more you notice like all the stuff going on so it's like it is sort of becoming the thing like that's becoming an issue over time because it's like as you're running around doing your dailies or farming your echoes, it's like there's really not a lot of fun stuff to look at. Like, yeah, the backdrops are good. The backdrops in the game are amazing. But like when it comes to like the stuff like that's actually in front of you and you're navigating around, there ain't shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and there's like all the TPs and stuff around, but when the game first came out, I chose to not TP sometimes and just walk to
Hmm.
places because it was really fun.
Yeah,
But
Mhm.
now I'm just like, I just TP everywhere just because like
Yeah.
there's not worth it
yeah,
anymore.
yeah.
Yeah, I think that there is also a problem of that style of open world where like I think it is best suited to something that you play once. Like Elden
Yeah,
Ring's
true.
open world
Yeah.
shines, even though I think it's flawed. Like Elden Ring's open world shines because you get to experience like, oh my god, what is that?
Yeah.
Look
Yeah.
over there, look
Yeah.
at that, dude. Holy shit, look at
Yeah.
this castle, look at this city. And then you go to the DLC, it's like, oh my god, what are all the gravestones
Where
everywhere? Like,
the f- am I?
holy shit, where the fuck I've just like teleported. And so like but like that the second time that you play Elden Ring doesn't have quite the same effect. And then the third time it has like no effect. And then
Hmm.
eventually it's just like, okay, I'm starting my playthrough. I know what weapon I need to go to. Let me go to that place. I gotta go to that cave, go beat that
Yeah.
guy, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And the thing is like I think that an open world is best expressed, especially that style where it's just like you have to go on an adventure kind of thing. It's
Hmm.
best expressed in something that you're not playing daily because it just is like it ends up being kind of like a lot of padding almost.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that the magic of Elden Ring when you're like replaying it is like changing your build and all that, and there's not really a way to
Yeah.
do something like that in Gacha really. I mean maybe you could
Yeah.
maybe like using a new character or something like that. I don't know.
Hmm.
I think but like the open world loses its like
It's wow
oomph.
factor, yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah. It loses the excitement of being in the open world. And so I think unfortunately that I'm hoping that they can make it so that since they're trying a totally different style of an open world game, that they can make it more enticing to want to be in that world and more like continuously exciting. Cause it seems like from the dev interview, they're trying to make it so that you're having more like meaningful interactions with like NPCs and stuff, and like you get to go choose to do things. And so I'm hoping that they can keep that like not magic, but at least make it feel like more immersive and like good and worthwhile to have the open world, because I feel like the open world in like Genshin and WuWa sort of like I just wish it wasn't there after it's explored enough.
Yeah.
You know,
wonder
I'm just done with it.
I wonder how a gacha would do if. Have you guys played Deep Rock Galactic?
Yes.
No.
Yeah.
So for people who don't know, it's pretty much like it has like what's it called, random map generating, but like on a smaller scale, where like randomizes the map every time.
Yeah.
Deep Rock Galactic, I feel like even though it's all underground and dark, the map always feels very unique for the most part. I always get lost, but like it always feels really unique. But I wonder how a gacha would do if like you had one main hub and then something like that to explore in, where like every time you went out, the map was always different. Something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, some like a solo leveling would have been cool, where it's like there's like procedurally generated dungeons,
That's what it is. That's
stuff
what
like that. Yeah.
Okay.
I guess my question is like, does that fuck with monetization? Because ultimately, part of the reason that you have a standard experience in gacha games is because it makes the characters that much more important. Because that's how you get variety, and how you do different things in the game is via getting new characters. If they create more variety and more like excitement in things that you do, does that hurt
Like
their
making-
ability to
okay.
sell characters? Like, I guess it would
as
depend
in,
on
like,
how they
making-
do it.
Oh,
If there's
I didn't think
variety
about
in
that.
what you do in the game, does that hurt their ability to merchandise and like sell their characters? I guess it would depend on like it is, because
Maybe if you have the new character, you have a chance to spawn a new part of the map that's suited to that character or something.
Oh, we get RNG maps.
Yeah.
RNG maps. That's
let's go.
Paywall actual content.
For every constellation, you get another possible.
Hey, do not give me a hoyo, bro. I will fuck y'all up.
You can't play this part of the game unless you have this character. So give us money.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
Every character comes with a map DLC.
Yeah.
But I'm very excited for NT. I keep wanting to call it NTR.
Same.
Let's just call it
quite
NTR.
the safety for the NTR gacha game that's coming out. I'm excited to see how they choose to utilize the open world, because I feel like Genshin and WuWa have had a very limited scope on how they utilize their open world, and since it's a new type of open world, it makes me excited. However, I've obviously got like reasonable doubts and suspicions on that part. I guess.
Yeah, I agree.
But let's see. What else do we have to talk about? We got the revenue report, state of games. We got the Genshin boycott stuff, and we've also got Mr. Breast. We could do Genshin boycotts, I feel like.
I didn't get to see too much about that.
Same.
That's probably the one I'm least informed on.
Genshin. I don't know about the Genshin
boycott stuff. It's very easy.
Okay, yeah, perfect,
it's very simple, very, very simple to explain.
Perfect.
So there's obviously the strike, which is totally separate, which is the VA striking Genshin Impact as part of a wider strike against the AI stuff, which we talked about last time. Some people, I didn't want to give clarification to this. There are people who are just like not watching videos and assuming that is regarding the Natlin stuff. They're completely unrelated. the voice actor strike in that. And then additionally, a couple of HSR voice actors have been replaced. But that was due
a couple?
There's been like 2, 4, I don't remember. There's been a couple.
Did they recast?
Okay.
They recast them. Some people?
They got recasted, but to my knowledge, that is, first of all, entirely separate, because that's HSR, not Genshin. And it's specifically Genshin due to like the company they use for their voice acting, some logistical contract with the union. However, they have been recast totally separately from the strike stuff. It was like due to personal things. I think it was Argenti, Huahua, and her tail.
I forgot her tail has a voice.
Yeah. So that's my understanding. But those are totally separate. The Genshin boycott I wanted to talk about was the Twitter Natlin stuff.
Okay.
So essentially, Natlin is white. They're all very, very white, which apparently people are surprised by for a reason that I personally don't understand. But obviously Twitter is boycotting, quote unquote. They have a bunch of change.org lists that there's one that has
Jeez.
over 100,000
Oh,
signatures.
Oh wow.
And basically the boycott is going free to play and not playing the game. And do you guys think he's going to cover that?
No.
no, bro. Get your players
No.
out. I'm boycotting the game. Boots up Genshin Impact.
Yeah, it's
no
it's
one's
very
boycotting the game,
it's
bro.
very it's like it's very weird to boycott something and continue using the product. Like generally
Yeah.
when you boycott something, you stop using the product. Like
That's a
are
good
these
point,
people
yeah.
are these people that f***ing addicted
He's like,
or
I'm gonna be
that
free to play.
No,
Yeah,
that's
bro.
you want
Like
mindless?
everybody else.
Dude, the actual legitimate mindset is so crazy. Because first of all, obviously people are like, so you're still gonna play the game? And they're like, well, like it's not really possible for us to stop playing Genshin Impact. Like it's some of us, it's like our only comfort, and I've spent like a lot of money. You want me to stop playing it now? And then
Then what's the point of the boycott?
and then the justification they are giving is that playing free to play but still being on the servers costs them money.
Next to nothing.
Yeah,
such an
literally
insane
in the
next to
scale of
nothing.
things, yeah.
Yeah, it's like such a low amount that like it's actually insane. But also just having the same player numbers is still a benefit to Genshin Impact.
Yeah, oh
It's
yeah.
not a boycott.
Mhm.
It's insane.
The positive they get over having more players on their game. And here's the thing. Even if it's 1 out of 1,000 people that are going to boycott that are going free to play, you're going to have that one person that says they're boycotting and is still going to be spending money. So even then they're making their money back off of those 1,000, 100,000 people that signed the signature. If just one person spends money, they're making their money back on like
Yeah,
the
all it
server
takes is
infrastructure.
one whale to just make all their sacrifices worthless.
I mean that too. It's like
Literally.
And like, hey, for every vegan, I double the amount of meat I eat.
Hey,
I gotta
hey,
make sure.
you know who said that, right, Leroy?
Wait, who am I calling?
Mr. Maddox himself, the OG of the internet.
Wait, really? That's where that's from?
That's from Maddox.
I
Yep.
didn't know that.
Yep.
What?
He made a shirt. He made a shirt with that. That's what
That's
got
badass.
popularized. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just it's all very silly. And then what was I gonna say? It's the thing about it is like the reality is like here's my question. Here's the question that I have to those who are
Mhm.
boycotting. So you're free to play now for the boycott. You're still continuously playing the game, probably more to get as many Plemo gems as you possibly can scrape out of the game to make sure you can get your characters, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have the willingness to stay free to play in Genshin Impact forever when they ignore you?
Oh, they won't. Hell no.
Because that's the
Hell no.
reality, right? Because the reality
Yeah.
is they're not going to change anything. They don't care about change.org and their 100,000 signatures that are like probably half bots and bullshit. What, like
Just
they
made
don't
up for
care.
fun.
They're not changing shit. They're not
No.
doing nothing. So, are you committing hypothetically to being free to play to Genshin forever if you don't get what you want? Or are you just going to give up on it because it's really not that important to you and your, sunken cost fallacy is a bigger deal? Genuine question. Because free to play Genshin Impact is not fun.
I am very susceptible to sunk cost fallacy.
Yeah.
So I will keep playing Genshin.
Yeah, it was it's just like because the reality is that either they are committing to being free to play forever, which if you're already somebody who's like, I literally can't stop playing the game. I spent $1,000. You're not going to be able to do that. You're going to get to a character that you really, really, really want, and you're not going to be able to get them free to play, and you're going to spend the money.
So
Period.
instead of spending 1,000, now you're gonna spend $1,100 in the game. Yay! And make no money.
Yeah, or like can we just be honest that like they're never going to do anything about it. This was already talked about last time they did the exact same fucking thing. It didn't change. And it, like if you really want to talk about it, I went through a bunch of Gacha games casts. Not a single Gacha game that I looked at had double digits numbers of characters that were not white.
Well,
I did
think
not
it's even,
look at a single Gacha game that had more than 10 characters that was not white. I don't even think it was 7.
yeah. Not only that, it's like it's crazy to expect I'm trying to word this without pissing people off. It's crazy to expect like a cultural because it's a very obviously a cultural thing, right? Like
Yeah.
that's just how it is. You know, Hoyo is a
Mhm.
Chinese company. They don't like other representations in their game, and that, again, it comes back to a cultural thing. Whereas, you know, more in the West, we are more, you know, open to and accepting to having different
Mhm.
varieties of characters, things like that. Trying to push your culture and like your heritage on other companies is just never going to be, whether it's a good or bad thing, whether who's right or wrong, that's a completely separate topic. That's just never going to work. It's never going to happen. I'm sorry. It is what it is.
It's a values thing, and it's also
Yeah.
that like a lot of people, a lot of these like we'll be honest, like children
Yep.
Yeah,
who are talking
absolutely.
about this legitimately don't have an understanding that like racism in the West has a different root
Yeah.
culturally than the colorism in the East. Like
Yep.
there's a different root to it because it's a lot more about like uh what's the word for it? Like nationalism, xenophobia kind of thing. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
it has a lot more about that. It's not the same root of racism that exists in the West.
Yep.
And to be honest, they don't really give a fuck about any of that like your woke Western ideas of racism.
Yeah, they don't
Hmm.
Because
care.
it's like
CCP said we got to make a gacha. We're making a gacha.
yeah. And it's also like, we'll be honest, like the characters will sell better if they're more widely appealing to as many audiences as possible.
People
And
don't realize that.
unfortunately, the reality is like a lot of Eastern Asian cultures do value that lighter skin tone. And we'll be honest, like Chinese people are not all deathly pale. Not all Japanese people are deathly pale, but that is the cultural preference.
I
Uh,
think you said I really want to touch on something you said that's so incredibly important and has people really don't think about. People, I'm trying to I don't want to misquote you, but like you basically said like people want like things that they can identify with or like characters they like identify with or like that look like them or like beautiful or like
mhm,
attractive and their standards. Um,
mhm.
there, I don't know if you guys are familiar with that one like hero shooter that just came out from I think like EA or something, where it had like the really big chick who like people were memeing about. Now, you guys are aware of this?
Not
Which
at
one was
all.
that?
Pride,
I saw something
Pride,
about that.
yeah. So long story short, like there is a reason why Overwatch was so successful is because all of the characters were beautiful and they were hot and people they were skinny and attractive. Concord is what we're thinking of, what I'm
Okay,
talking about.
okay.
Long story short, like they had like a character that they were like really trying to get on like the leftist like sort of woke side. She was like a bigger woman. Um, she was ugly, and again, like people like sorry, like people want to play attractive characters. They want people that like are hot and they can self-insert into. Like they don't want people that just don't look like them or ugly. Sorry, it is what it is.
What character is it?
Here, I'll put a screenshot in here.
I'm just curious.
It's
Yeah, let me go request you again.
Amari from Concord.
Amari from Concord.
Yeah, here, I'll put it in here.
Amari.
I put it in the chat.
Oh, what the fuck?
It's like,
I mean, I don't even care about her being bulky. It's just
Yeah.
yeah,
No, it's
like,
just yeah.
it has nothing to do with any of the other shit about any of that. She's just like it's an ugly ass character. I
yeah.
would never like. How is it? Not a. Oh, ooh.
That is a crazy yeah.
Oh. I
And
mean, she's got the blue lipstick and
Yeah,
she's a
that is a
person of color.
crazy.
It's like
Yeah.
pandering to them. Like I hate to say it, but it's pandering. Like it is what it is. It's pandering to
but it's not
such a
even good pandering. Like they
no,
never.
no, no.
Yeah.
Like you can
But
make representation where they're not specifically ugly looking. Like that is
oh
just really
yeah,
like
yeah,
gross
yeah.
character design in general. I don't think
Yeah, this
anyone's
is
gonna like that character design.
right.
That's insane. It's like, but I think it's just a little bit. I don't know. It just shows a lot of naivete to believe that like Chinese people
Hmm.
give a fuck that you want more representation, and it's also like every gotcha game has this representation problem, and on
Mhm.
top of that, most games have a representation problem. I think people focus in on Genshin specifically, because it has a larger normie market, and I think has a generally younger player base than some of the other gotcha games. And additionally, because they specifically utilize imagery, names, etc., from real world cultures, and then like so specifically and identifiably, like this thing is from this place,
Yeah.
but then don't represent the skin tones. Because if you're just using sexy characters and they're all white, people don't really have the same problem because that's in every other gacha game ever, or like all have a
Yeah.
pale skin tone.
Yeah.
So
People
I
picking and
guess
choosing.
it's just a little like all of it is very like odd, but it's also like HSR has quite literally one dark skin character. Literally one.
Oh yeah, that's Arlon, right?
Yeah.
Arlon,
Have you ever looked at the names of his abilities and his eidolons?
Oh, I don't think I've even leveled up Arlon to a single level.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Let me read you something real quick.
Wait, what?
Let me read you something real
Does the lore go
quick.
deeper?
Oh baby. Give me a second. Let me pull
Wait,
this up.
guys?
Okay. His dude, it's so very something for sure. So
what?
his basic attack is lightning rush. His skill
Yeah.
is called shackle breaker. His ultimate is
Ooh.
called frenzied punishment. His talent is called pain and anger, and his technique is called swift harvest.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
And then his eidolons till the bitter end, breaking free, power through, turn the tables, hammer and tongs, self-sacrifice.
Okay.
Some of those
That's
are
ins-
sussy. Some of those are not like the others.
Okay,
I'll tell
yeah,
you
I was
what.
about to say, am I crazy for like thinking that's going a certain direction?
Yeah.
Well, half of them are, yeah. 100%.
Well, it's like
Yeah,
half
like
of them
some
are,
of
but then
them-
it gives context to the rest of them that feels different. In any other situation, maybe some of these don't feel so weird, but then it's in context of shackle breaker and breaking free is definitely something.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah. I also don't think that that's something that's established in his character in the game at all, if I'm not mistaken.
I will say, while we're speaking about like dark skinned characters, there's a character from Arknights called Thorn who's so fucking cool.
Mm.
He's like he uses like, I think it's just a really cool sword, and they just made his design so epic. He was from like
Nice.
years ago though, but yeah.
Yeah. It's just like, but my point is like HSR has literally one dark skin character with like weird connotations on the skills and eidolons. As of now, albeit early into release, WuWa has none. I looked at Nikkei. I think Nikkei had 6 or 7, and they have so many characters. Like holy shit.
Mhm.
But like Honkai Impact Third, I think had one that was half black, but had like pure like was just tan essentially with Caucasian looking features. Because you could see
Yeah.
the mom that was the person of color. The
Mhm.
mom had ethnic features. The daughter had none of them. Was just darker skinned. And then had a couple NPCs. And I think the darkest character in ZZZ is Nekomata and the bear. So like
Does the
basically
bear
every
really
gacha
count
game-
though?
No, it doesn't. It doesn't count. But I figured I'd mention it, I guess. Hey, listen, we gotta try. No,
We're
man.
reaching. That's what we're
Yeah.
reaching.
But yeah, but like every gacha game has this problem because
Yeah.
paler characters are more widely marketable because, you know, if it's a pale character in an anime style, somebody can imagine it to be American or British or Asian or
Yep.
Japanese or whatever. Like, and so like it gives you more ability to find them attractive because it's more what's the word? Desired in more cultures, especially in the cultures that they're marketing to as, you know, gacha games. And like it gives you more ability to self-insert with them.
You know,
It
it's-
sucks, but that's the reality of it.
You know what's wild? I'm just realizing the furry community gets more representation than anyone non-white in gacha.
Stop! Stop!
The animal characters, the animal
Stop.
ears. Oh my god, that's insane.
Oh no!
That's
I mean,
insane.
furries and lolicons, realistically.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh.
oh god.
God. I didn't want to think about the lolicons. Oh god.
Oh god. But yeah, that is a point that I wish I had not heard
Yeah,
today.
I'm sorry for bestowing that information. It's like
Yeah,
it's
this
like
is what I
the
know
call of the
now.
void. It's like the like when you like learn about it, like your brain explodes.
Ignorance is
Uh,
bliss.
I've been cursed
Yeah.
with forbidden knowledge. Oh
Yep.
God. But yeah, they're still trying to do their little boycott, and they're being very feral about defending their little boycott on Twitter. Nobody's gonna take a boycott seriously where you don't actually abstain from participating in the thing, because
hmm
that's what a boycott is.
Yeah, I don't know if you
At this
guys.
Wow.
I don't know if they know
point,
the
We need to bring back
definition.
we need to bring back bullying. I think these Twitter kids didn't get bullied enough growing up. I'm just gonna say it.
I
Yeah.
think we maybe should put the. I think honestly, I think that the kids should be taken back to the mines. I
Yeah.
think that
Oh yeah.
you
No.
know, I think that we should just make child labor legal again
I was
and
about to say we
send them
should
back to the
make it
mines.
lower than what it used to be.
I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
Just lock in.
There's a reason why kids play Minecraft so much. The children
They
yearn for the mines.
yearn for
Yep.
it, dude. They want to do hard
They
labor.
want.
Send
Yep.
them
Hey,
back.
keep my iPhone and my shoes. Keep it affordable for me.
Yeah, it's I don't know. I think the internet just rots people's brains, and then when you're
Yep.
so young, and like the internet is so much bigger than when like I was a kid. I feel like there's
Oh
just
God.
so much to access now. I think it just causes
I
terrible,
mean-
I feel
terrible
like
rot.
I was first got a phone when like the internet was first becoming like a big thing.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't get a phone until I was like 16 or something.
Yep.
But like,
Good.
yeah, I mean, hey, look how I turned out. I'm great.
Look at him, a perfectly well-adjusted individual.
Yay! But when when I was oh god, I lost my train of thought. I remember when I first got my phone, all I ever looked for was music and texting my coworkers.
Mhm.
And then now it's like there's so much to do, and there's just so many people and all that.
Yeah,
The-
there's
the
so many
early
traps to fall
days-
into too.
Yeah,
Mhm.
the early
And
days of the
echo chambers and all
internet. The early days of the internet, and I think I'm older than you, Hex. I'm old man. The early days of the internet it felt like very. I don't want to say innocent because I don't think it's necessarily innocent, but like
Mhm.
you didn't have like 12-year-olds on Discord getting groomed by 40-year-old
No,
men
you
as
just had
regular.
12-year-olds on Kick getting groomed by 40-year-old men. It was a
I
little
mean-
different.
And Omegle. Don't forget about Omegle. Omegle was crazy.
We did that shit the old-fashioned way on Kick.
Kick and Omegle didn't exist when
I
they
remember when I had to use work hard.
Look, guys, I'm talking about like the 90s, right? Like 99, 2000,
Oh
2001.
God, you're
like
the
that.
Crypt
Yeah.
Keeper. Holy
Yeah,
shit.
like that didn't exist when I was growing up. Like, I was gonna say we definitely like a culture shock here because when you guys say early internet and say Kick and Omegle, that makes my brain explode. I'm talking about like in the
Oh.
AOL and the
You're
BBS
talking
days.
about
The
dial-up type
BBL
shit.
days.
BBL.
BBS for all my boomers out there. I
AIM?
know.
Oh God.
AIM, MSN, ICQ. I still remember my ICQ number.
Oh my God.
Yeah, MIRC, yeah, IRC, yeah, like the early
Jesus.
days of the internet, like before your guys' time probably, but
Damn.
yeah, it was just like there was just a lot more innocent, people, the 12 and 13-year-olds weren't fucking trying to get into like online games and communities because there really wasn't any, but I don't know, it's just so different to see like the dichotomy between like now internet where kids are on everything and kids are integrating themselves into these social circles that have 40-year-old men. It's all weird.
It's so easy though. It's so easy
Yeah.
to just like be like smacked into these like communities. Like I remember like my like some of my first like social interactions on the internet was like Webkins.
Yeah.
Like I was
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
oh my
Webkins
God,
were
my
awesome.
bestie on Webkins. Look at her new
Yeah.
girly. She got a unicorn from Claire. Slay. Like
And
it was
now
like,
nowadays, when you're 12 and you're first getting on the internet, you're getting groomed on Discord by a 40-year-old. That's like your introduction to the internet.
it's so bad. It's so
Dude.
bad. Like it's so bad.
Yeah, I remember the first raid I ever did in Destiny 1 when Fault of Glass was like a big thing. It was me and like 5 other kids my age. We were all like 13, and there was one 30-year-old dude like just telling us what to do for the raid. Like, he was completely normal, but like I was thinking back on it, like if that guy was weird, he had like an army of kids to groom. There's like 5 of us.
Oh God. I have a question for you. This is like a what if question, really.
Yeah.
I don't want kids. I'm not going to have kids. But if you were to have children, would you let them on the internet? What would you like? Would you just let them have unrestricted access? Like, I feel like so many parents are just like, here's a phone, little 10-year-old. Do whatever you'd like. I'm not going to check it.
I feel like for me, I would give them the access that they wanted, but I would make sure to like say if they want to play a video game, I would introduce them to the games that I like, and if they like those games, then I would play the games with them, just so that we can hang out
Get
and
your
like
kids
show
addicted
them.
to Gacha.
Yes, and Helldivers
Yeah.
too.
Well, no, you could just make them farm for your account, so you don't have to do it
Yup,
yourself.
it's free. So something like that, just like I guess I don't know, maybe guide them in a good direction, and then they can. I've shown them what I do, and then they can go fuck them up themselves or something or whatever. They gotta
Yeah,
make their own mistakes.
For me, I would let them like watch YouTube and stuff, probably starting at like the age of like 10, 11. And then I wouldn't let them like get into like gaming or anything until probably like 13, and then heavily monitor it. But
Yeah, I would say either do my gacha dailies or mow the lawn.
yep.
So I would have to pick.
Yep.
I think for me, I don't think because like I just don't like that whole practice right now of just like let me just give this baby an iPad so I don't have to hear them. Like,
Dude, that is
Yeah.
crazy to me.
yeah.
These
I think
iPad
for
kids,
me,
feel-
like no screens for like the first, I don't know, 8 years if I had
Oh,
a
that's
kid.
like- yeah,
I was
no
gonna
screens
say
at
that-
all.
I always feel so bad because I used to teach swim lessons,
Mhm.
and there's a couple parents who would like drop their kids off because it was like for like 2 hours. I would teach these people how to swim,
Mhm.
and a lot of people just drop their kids off and leave. Whereas like there are some parents who were homies, and they would stay and look outside of the fence because they couldn't be in the pool because they would like people get defensive about
Mhm.
their kids being in water, but they would watch from outside the fence and like ask questions about like what I'm doing and like be really engaged. But like there's a lot of parents where they just drop them off and just leave them in my I'm capable, but
Right.
like they don't like keep up to
Free-
date or like
free
ask questions or
babysitter.
engage.
I
Yeah,
had I had
pretty
the same
much.
thing. I actually also used to teach swim lessons, so
Yeah.
I've had the same experience where
It's
there's like
good
some
that
parents
it's
who are
easy
like
to
really
notice the good
concerned.
parents.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I remember I had this one little kid because I coached a swim team at one point, and
Mhm.
like he was just a piece of shit. Like I don't know how you got a kid to be a complete piece of shit person at 8 years old, but he was
That's
just like the worst.
I hate this kid, bro. We're beefing.
Like I legitimately had like an adult level of dislike for this kid because he was such a piece of shit. Like he
That is
was a
so
bad
funny.
person as like he was like 8. And so like and I just remember like trying to talk to the Bob and be like, "Hey, like your kid is like
Your
he's
kid's a
got very
dickhead.
bad behavioral issues and like really is like there's no way this is the first time you've heard this." And she was like, "I think he's perfect in every way, but thanks for
Ugh.
the update." And then just like it would would never try. She would avoid me so that I couldn't speak to her. And it was just like, God, I hate this shitty little fuck. I hate
Yeah.
this kid.
Yeah, I hate this kid, bro.
He
We're
was
beefing.
so bad, dude. I had legitimate like adult levels of beef with
You had
this
beef,
little
yeah.
lady,
There is
bro.
like annoyance for like they're just a kid, and then it's like, bro, I hate you. Like
No,
I
he
do
was
not
like
like you.
purposely aggressive and incendiary, like an adult almost. Like it was
Yeah.
insane. Like he was manipulative too, and it was just like it was so clear that the Bob was just like not engaged with what he did at all. Like did not care. Like, and it was also like it seemed like she would just drop him off so she could get a break from her little piece of shit
Yeah.
kid. And it was just
Oh
like,
my
oh god,
God.
this is so fucking depressing.
Probably an iPad kid who like had zero attention
Yeah.
from his parents growing up.
Absolutely.
And
Yeah.
even taking
Oh,
that like
man.
a step further, it's like it's very interesting that like these parents will just shove an iPad in their kid's face when they're like 2, 3 years old. Like technology is still so early on, and so we don't
Mhm.
understand like what it does to developing brains. That like to subject your child to just so much screen time at such an early age. Like we don't have enough studies or enough data to know like is that fucking our developing brains up? Is that
I
like
feel like it just is.
like
I feel like it's
hurting?
obvious.
Absolutely.
It's
I feel like I
gotta
don't need
be.
studies of nothing. I just know it. You can tell. Like it's so
Yeah.
bad.
like put like yeah, I was gonna say like as these kids grow up and get like because obviously with how early technology is like in the next like 10 to 20 years we're really going to start seeing like these kids that grew up on iPads and and didn't never had like a moment of silence to like be alone with their thoughts, they're going to be 20, 30 years old and like entering the workplace and becoming politicians. It's like I'm very interested to see like what the future holds for like this
Dude,
generation.
politics
I
are
hate
just going to be a
that.
freaking roasting fry session. It's going to be so funny. It's going to be so
Yeah.
funny, but so awful at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really rough. And like I think it's also just like I guess to me it's like I don't want a kid having unrestricted access to the internet. I don't
Feel like
like that. Because for me it's
Mhm.
like I had unrestricted access to the internet and I got
Same.
into a lot of fucked up situations as
Same.
a kid because
Oh
I did not
yeah.
know how to
Yeah.
protect myself and there was no way to gain knowledge on how to be a critical thinker
Yeah.
on the internet like that. And that was when the internet was it was significantly there were more barriers to getting into like insane shit. Where now
Mhm.
like you could just go into a Discord
Yeah.
and just instantly just oh, all right, you're part of the grooming session with all
Yep.
these other little
Yeah.
kids like
Welcome.
yeah, welcome.
Speed run getting groomed any percent.
Yeah, no, but like it's just so easy now. Like there were like you
Glitchless.
like before there had to be methods. There had to be like a thought
Methods of getting
process.
groomed.
Yeah,
But
yeah, there's a
like,
couple
but you
steps.
know
You had
what
to
I
go through
mean.
hoops. You had to
There
go
were
through
I
hoops
hoops.
remember
to
back
jump
in my
through.
day, getting
You
groomed used to be difficult.
it was
Nowadays, I
harder.
just
Like it
go
had
to a
more.
Discord and get groomed.
It still happened plenty, but it was definitely there were more like barriers to entry on the grooming. Where now it's like it's so easy. If you want to be a creep on the internet, bro, it's so just put on a just put on
I'll
a
tell you
VTuber
what.
model and lie about who you are. Like like it's so easy now. It's so
These
fucked
kids,
up.
yeah, these kids got it easy, man, on the internet. Getting groomed is so easy nowadays. We had to work
Yeah,
for it
back
in
in
the
my
day.
day, I had to work so
I
hard.
remember. I had to download this app. I had to
Yeah.
jailbreak my iPhone.
Yeah. No, you had to be like I don't know. There were levels to that shit, and like it's
Yeah.
just like there's so much, and there's just almost like there's so much more weird shit on the internet.
Yep.
Like there's so much weird shit that's like hidden too. Like oh
I
god,
feel like,
I just am remembering all of the fucked up things that I've learned about that I I just
oh
didn't even think
god,
existed.
I feel like what helped me a lot because I didn't have any access to like the internet until I was 16 with my phone.
Oh
Mhm.
wow.
And I was one of like 9 kids. So I always had the social part. I feel like playing video games offline, like something like Halo or like something like Terraria or Minecraft, like offline with like your family, is like an awesome way to get into video games. And then you can like do internet
Yeah. Oh yeah.
stuff after, like maybe play online with your friends or something with like your, I
Mm,
don't know.
yeah, I
Yeah.
didn't start playing
We
video
lived
games until I was an adult.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah,
Oh, that's
No wonder
insane to
you're
me.
so shit.
die.
I jest.
Die. But yeah, I lived in a really strict household, so like I did
Mm.
technically have like a DS, but I was like
Dude.
I had things that I had to do, and so like it wasn't like I had time to be doing stuff on the DS. Like I had no
Wow.
time for any
Oh,
of that
he's
shit.
gonna pull out. He's gonna pull out the DS.
Yeah, I had the little pink Slay DS. If you know,
Oh.
there's like a very specific
Yeah.
Slay pink DS
Dude.
that was out.
I hope Laura pulls out the pink Slay DS.
Yeah.
Dude. So I had this DS, and it's got like all the Skylander stickers on it.
Oh
when
my
Skylander was
gosh.
God.
That's so
And
cool that you have
I've still got like the Plants vs Zombies games and Mario games.
Oh
But
my
this very
gosh.
DS got me grounded for like 2 months because
Wow.
at one point my dad was coming downstairs. I wasn't supposed to be awake. But you know how there's a volume button on here?
Yeah.
I mixed up the volume button, and instead of muting my Game Boy, and you know how like when you hear your parents, you put your stuff under the pillow and you pretend you're asleep.
Yeah.
I used to do that all the time.
Yeah.
This time I didn't mute my DS, and I accidentally put it on full blast and put it under my pillow.
Oh
so
no.
my dad's hearing what's the Plants vs Zombies themes? Fuck it. He's hearing the Plants vs Zombies theme on full
Yeah.
blast, and he's just looking at me, and I can feel him look at me. He's like,
No,
You need to
Dad,
wake
hug
up.
shoe.
I know you're awake.
That's-
Hug shoe. No, I'm sleeping. Me.
That's
No.
so
I
wild.
use it to go to bed. I use the sound
It's
to
so
go
relaxing.
to bed. Yeah.
That's so wild that you have that story with the DS, whereas my story was with the original Game Boy or Game Boy Color doing the exact same thing.
Dude,
That's
I played
wild.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles on the Game Boy.
Nice.
Not like for a
I
long
got in
time.
trouble for reading books.
You nerd.
Yeah.
Read books.
This is not a joke. I actually got sent to the principal's office because I had ADHD, which was never diagnosed, and then I was like a gifted kid, and so I get bored as fuck
Yeah.
sitting here through some where it's like
Yeah.
I finished this worksheet like an hour ago, and you're still explaining it, and so like
Yeah.
I would like read books. But I got sent to the principal's office several times because I was like not respecting the teacher. It's like, I already know what's happened. I already finished my work. I'm being quiet. I'm not causing a disturbance. I'm doing something educational. Leave me alone. But that's what I got in trouble for as a kid.
Damn.
Yeah, I always got the freaking passive buff where just all the teachers loved me. So they would just let me like walk around the school and just like sit in other teachers' rooms and just be on my phone. But I was like,
actually believe that entirely. You're exactly that kind of kid in high school. I know exactly what you were like.
because like okay, so junior year aside, I ended high school with a 3.8 GPA, or no, a 3.9 out of 4, which I did all my work. But like all the teachers were like, "Oh, it's okay." And my Spanish teacher always called me Tlacuache, and she always told me to Cállate, niño. So
That means shut up, child, right?
Shut up, boy.
yeah, pretty much.
Wow.
Yeah.
Great.
What were you like in high school, Shinya?
So my high school experience was like actually kind of crazy. So
Mhm.
freshman year, I entered high school as a nerd, and I got in with the nerd squad. And then
You
World
a
of
nerd?
Warcraft. Yeah, and then World of
I'm
Warcraft
shocked.
came out.
No way.
World of Warcraft came out very shortly after I started high school. And then I just became a piece of shit and didn't do anything. But I was the kid that was a nerd, but like I was the cool nerd who like was friends with every other like clique in high school. So like I was friends with the jocks because I played football. I was friends with the goths because I listened to My Chemical Romance. I was friends with the weird girls because I read Twilight.
I'm gonna say that nothing, given the model that you have chosen, is surprising to me in the slightest. That you listen to My Chemical
You're kind of
Romance
just
or like
describing like
Twilight.
your influence for picking that.
Yeah,
I mean, hey, it is.
completely.
Yeah, it is what it is. And then
Actual high school shit.
yeah, and then senior year, I basically just stopped showing up to high school and still managed to graduate. I think I had like the most allowed absences you could have without like getting truancy. So that was cool. Yeah.
Nice. Slay.
Yeah, we love that.
Would you guys go back to high school if you had to, if you want would you ever choose to like go back to high school to re-experience that again? Because my husband says he would, and I've always been like, I would rather peel off my skin.
I'm on the fence about it.
I would say probably not. I think my like to what to re-experience it or to change stuff. Just to re-experience.
Re-experience it.
Ooh, to re-experience it, probably not.
Yeah, I mean, because I had a really fulfilled high school, but it was more so like the thing where like I had no. I was friends with everybody, but I wasn't best friends with anybody. So
Same,
it's like I'm good.
Same. Yeah.
Yeah, I think
exactly.
Shinya had because when I first entered our high school, I was like a giga nerd. Like everyone
Yep.
copied off me, and I was like the button
Oh,
up,
okay.
comb over, and then it was like
no.
yeah. And then sophomore year came around, and I was like I suddenly like flipped.
Yeah.
So,
I was
but I probably
cyberbullied in high
wouldn't.
school. I'm good.
Oh,
Damn.
damn. Did you ever think about turning off your PC?
Yeah.
Just
I
show
didn't
off
have
your
anything else.
monitor.
That was everything for me.
Oh,
But I ended
no.
up like if you guys know, like there's like a concept like dual enrollment. So basically I just went to college
Yeah,
my last
yeah.
year of high school and got like a bunch of college credits and didn't have to ever see any
Oh,
of those people
okay.
again. It was awesome. It's
Yeah, sounds
fantastic. I
great.
loved it.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I will say though, like looking back on it, and this is probably true for probably everyone. High school wasn't as bad as I thought it was at the time. Like if I had known being an adult would be this shitty and this sucky, like it would have been a lot nicer to know like it, because I viewed like I hated school. Like I hated getting up in the morning. I hated the bus drive to school. I hated being there. I wanted to peel my skin off. Sitting there and learning for 6-7 hours was the worst thing in the fucking world. Now being an adult and having to work 8 hours a day and having to deal with adult responsibilities, yeah, it was kind of bliss not having to like worry about stuff like that.
No, I think high school was just as bad as I thought it was, if not worse. And I prefer being an adult very, very much. My high school years were
Fair.
terrible. Being a child was miserable. I love having agency and independence. It's great.
Fair enough. Yeah, we gotta worry about bills and stuff though. That sucks.
I'd rather worry about bills. High school was bullshit. I did not enjoy it at all. I'm just not equipped.
Because I moved out at 18. I kind of wish I didn't move out. I wish I lived with my parents for a little longer. Because I lived on my own for 2.5 years.
Okay.
And then I was like, and then obviously I moved down to Texas. And then, yeah.
Gotcha.
I like the freedom.
Yeah,
the freedom.
I did not choose to leave. I left young.
Yeah.
I did not live at home at a young age, not of my own volition. I'm glad that it happened when it did. But I like being an adult. Being a high schooler sucks. Having control over my time and what I do with it is very nice and fun. And also being able to learn things as an adult is more fun than as a kid, I guess, because you actually get to understand context of things rather than having
to take it at your own pace.
Yeah.
Which is what I really like, because some things I learn very quick. I learn physical things very quick, but I learn mental stuff pretty slowly. I think at my own pace.
Yeah, I'm somebody who has to learn everything the hard way every time. I have to suffer maximally to learn every single lesson of my life, and I prefer to do that as an adult with agency on how I handle that.
Yeah.
I cannot simply just be told that I shouldn't do something. I have to experience the absolute suffering of doing the thing every day.
Exactly. Especially with back when you're a kid and you're in high school, it's you have so many adults that like telling you how to think, what to think, how to do it. And it's 99% of those adults didn't know what the fuck they were talking about in general or know what they were doing anyway. So it's it was the blind leading the blind. And now being an adult, again, having that own agency to take it how you want to take it.
Yeah.
There was one time when I was at a party during my nerd phase, and someone spiked the punch that everyone was drinking from with this drug. I still don't know what it was, but the second I figured it out, I was just like, "Can you come pick me up from the party?" And literally, no, because I was like, people are acting funny, and I don't want to be here anymore. And I was just talking to my friend's mom, and I was like, "Get me out of here! Get me out of here!"
Yeah.
Yeah, it was so funny.
Yeah.
Nice.
Did you ever have that feeling when you got older where you're like, oh, I'm around the age that most of my teachers were in high school? Holy fuck, my teachers were fucking dumb because I'm fucking dumb. They didn't know anything.
Yeah.
I was gonna say thinking back on it. How old are you, Leroy? You're 24, 25?
Yeah, I think I had one teacher that was my age, and that was it.
Okay, because I was gonna say thinking back on it, my early 20s Shinya. I thought I knew everything, and I thought I was hot shit. Turns out I was fucking I didn't know shit. As a 33-year-old man, now looking back on it, I didn't know what the fuck I was talking about. My thought processes were insane. I will say that I think it's a pretty common occurrence for you to look back on your 20s and think you were fucking stupid.
I'm gonna be real. I still think that about me 6 months ago. I look at my decision 6 months ago, and I'm like, dude, what the fuck were you on? What is wrong with you?
Yeah, when I was
so dumb.
When I was in high school, I pretty much just listened to whatever people told me to do, and then I was like, I was just pushing through high school like that, I guess. I didn't start making choices until I moved out, really. Which some of those choices, yeah.
Everybody be making decisions, huh?
Yeah,
everybody be saying stuff. I just say, wait, play soccer, okay. Oh, take all AP classes, okay.
God, AP classes sucked, dude.
They did. They sucked a big time.
I was so mad when I went to college, when I went to the dual enrollment stuff, and I was like, wait, I just get all of the credits if I pass a class, and I don't have to do all this other miserable dog shit and all of the busy work? What the fuck?
And the college teachers were cooler.
They were nice. They didn't really give a fuck.
More mature. They just popped
God.
in. Some days they wouldn't show up, so you wouldn't have to go to class, and it was awesome.
I love that email. Hello, class is being canceled because I don't feel like it. Fuck you. I'll see you next time.
And that had me. I was like, I can't wait for college. I don't have to show up.
Yeah, no. And then you remember all your teachers. Oh, well, this is not gonna fly in college. And the reality is that most college professors are like, yeah, man, I don't give a fuck.
That was something. Yeah, that was something when I was getting in trouble for my absences in high school. They're like, this shit won't fly in college, and it's turns out it actually really does fly in college.
Turns out it flies actually really well in college.
Yeah,
it was crazy.
Yeah. 100%. It's
I
so
feel like
interesting.
I saw a meme about this. Did your guys' English teacher ever get pregnant? Because mine was always
Yes.
pregnant.
All
It's always the
female
English
teachers
teacher.
got
Although the
pregnant.
female
Yes.
English teacher always
Yep.
always got pregnant every time, and I
Yep.
never saw them. I always saw the substitute,
Yep.
and then the
only one I
substitute just
can-
became the permanent teacher.
The only one I can remember was my French teacher, but she was
Mhm.
like, it was so weird because she was my French teacher, but she was a Russian woman like from Siberia. And so I was learning French from someone with an incredibly thick Russian accent. And she was
Oh my
also
God.
a mega super bitch, like the most miserable, rude, like just a horrendous individual known to man. And then having to deal with her being pregnant was so
That's insane.
awful.
Like,
And I was
that's
so glad when
insane.
she gave
Yeah.
birth because I didn't have to see
Yeah.
her for a couple of weeks.
Thinking back on it, because Lorado, if your experience was the same, was like
Mhm.
the female English teacher always got pregnant, and it was always a different teacher. It was always a teacher within the same school.
Yeah.
That happened like every year I was in high school, and it's like thinking about it, like thinking back when like all of these teachers are like probably early 20s, maybe late 20s, and like how stupid and how crazy like drama can be.
Mhm.
Like the teacher's drama was probably worse, if not the same as like the kids' high school drama, right?
True.
Only like the
behind the
where we said
scenes shit.
exactly like the
Yeah,
stuff that we
yeah.
didn't see. I can only imagine the type of
Dude.
shit that went on.
My history teacher, he had a wife, and when I graduated, he figured out he was gay, divorced his wife, and went to go marry a dude. And I was like homies with this teacher, but it was just such a crazy turn on because all 4 years he had this wife, and he always talked so good about her.
Yeah.
But then the last year, he started like, I guess getting tired of her or something, and said, "Fuck this, I want a man."
Oh my
And he was like the most.
God.
He was this big swole. He was this big swole black dude, and he was super tall, like techie height, but just freaking built like Hercules. And he was like, "Hey, I want a man." It was great.
It's
Nice.
like
Good for him.
not my
I
high
was so
school,
proud.
but there was a high school in
I
my
was so
district that
proud.
was really well known for every year there was at least one situation where the teacher was doing stuff with a student.
Oh yeah.
Same.
Like every year there was at least one, usually multiple, and it was always that high school. There was one time that happened in my high school, which was crazy because he was like the old swim coach. And I was a swimmer, like
Oh,
I was like
God.
I was like a athlete, and so like it was the swim coach, but he fucking hated me and he kicked me off the swim team.
What
You
the
were-
hell?
I was gonna say something
Oh.
really
Yappin.
wild. I was gonna say something really wild. I'm glad I didn't. Holy
Yeah,
shit!
yeah, but, like-
I stopped myself.
Yeah, and so like that happened, but like there was like a school where it was like they always had that happening, and it was so like looking back on it, it's like that was like a joke that everybody had, but like, geez, what the fuck is going on where this keeps happening? Like it's so fucked up.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I had a teacher who always brought in this case of lemonade to drink throughout the day, and it was just alcohol. And he was just
Nice.
drunk the whole day.
Nice.
Yeah. And at one
nice.
point, the only reason someone found out was because a student was drinking it, and because he gave it to one of the students, and then one of the other teachers was like, "Wait, that's Mike's Hard Lemonade,"
Oh my god!
and he got fired. But it was
That's
so
crazy.
fucking funny.
You know,
He was
I
lucky super chill.
think
really
we're on
drunk.
we're on a really good topic to segue.
Okay.
In regards to people dating or grooming underage people or people that are barely of age, the MrBeast stuff. I mean, we talked about I think we talked about Kris last week, Kris Tyson or Ava, excuse me. I don't see how people enter relationships with people that like aren't of age or are barely of age. Like, what the do you have to talk about with an 18-year-old? As a 30-year-old man, what do you talk about with an 18-year-old? Like, what do you have in common? Like, that's wild.
I don't know, Coco Melon
What?
probably.
What?
Roblox,
I don't get
Their
it.
favorite anime is probably like Fairy Tail or something. They're just starting out watching anime.
Yeah.
I
It's
don't
like
know,
so
dude.
it's so weird. Like I like okay, of age, like an 18 or 20-year-old, like I get it, like sexual appeal, like men and people traditionally like, you know, younger people, more, you know, traditionally attractive, you know, in their prime or whatever. But like outside of that, it's like, what do you? Okay, so yeah, you have the sex, assuming they're 18. We're all consenting adults here, but it's like, what do you do after that? What do you talk about? Like what? How do you coexist?
Hey man, the sex was great. Thanks, homie.
Yeah, like how
I'm
do you
out.
coexist? How do you
Hey, thanks,
coexist with an
bitch.
18-year-old?
Dap me up. Hey, good day. Thank you.
Bitch.
No, thanks for the riz.
so-
I'm gonna skibbity out of here.
Hey, so
Yeah.
wait, will it be a 15% tip or a 25% tip? Thank you. Have a good day. That's the conversation.
I don't know. I guess to me, it's also just like a lot of the Ava Chris Tyson stuff with their Discord was very just like,
Oh, so
we
fucking
know that
weird.
there's really degenerate, disgusting shit in here, and we also know that there's kids in here, and that's fine, I guess. And it's like
Yeesh.
after the MrBeast stuff, like my Discord, because like I guess for me, it's like I think about my Discord. My Discord has like almost 1,800 people in it, right?
Mhm.
For me, it was like my Discord has never had NSFW allowed. It's just because
Yeah.
I don't like it. I don't like getting flashbanged by porn. It pisses me off. So it's just like it's
Yeah.
just not something that's ever been allowed.
You
And
must
it's not
hate
like a
the
family
Gacha
friendly.
Discord.
that's
Yeah, I
Or having
do.
road killer in your
I
DMs,
do
bro. All
hate
my
that
life.
Discord. Dude, yeah, no, y'all post so much fucking porn in there. It's fucking crazy. But anyway, I just don't like it. It's my Discord.
Yeah.
But it's not because it was like kid friendly. It was just more so like I don't like it.
Mhm.
But then after the MrBeast stuff and kind of considering it, it was just like we're just not gonna allow 18 plus like or anybody under 18 in anymore
That's a
because
good
it's like
call.
the thought for me is like the thought of someone being under 18, and even if it was just like a moderation issue, right? Like all my
Mhm.
mods are asleep, it's the middle of the night, they didn't see it didn't get deleted immediately.
Mhm.
Um, I just hate the idea of like a space that is mine being a place where a kid is exposed to something that they shouldn't have been.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
Like, and like, I just don't understand that like lack of desire to keep children away from shit that fucks you up. You know, I don't
Yeah.
get that.
Mhm.
And I just find it like I find it really nice to talk to people who like, you know, have working brains and can like, you know, I can learn from them.
Oh,
And like
I'll
from
have
a
to go. I'm
16-year-old,
sorry.
like or from like if the second I'm gonna call the 16-year-old, I'm like, okay, I'm out. I'm not doing this shit. You're gonna 1, I'm good. 2, I'm good, and 3, I'm gonna get dumber talking to you. I'm out.
Yeah.
100%. And
Yeah.
it's so crazy because it's like the children are all over the fucking internet nowadays, and it's like
Yeah.
people don't even really think about it. It's like I can't tell you how many times like I would like just like be watching like a conversation somewhere. It's like, oh, I'm 13, which by the way, don't say you're 12 or 13 in Twitch shit. You get banned immediately, literally by
Don't
Twitch.
say
Yeah.
that anywhere. Don't say your age anywhere,
Yeah.
especially if you are
Yeah.
a minor. It is so
Yeah.
dangerous. Holy
But
shit.
it's
please
just
don't do that.
like I don't know why I never like really thought about it much. Is like these kids are literally everywhere nowadays, man. It's wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like it's impossible to know. And so like we ban anybody we have a suspicion of being a kid.
Mhm.
And we like and when we decided to do that, I actually had almost I was at 1900 in my Discord and my mods went through and looked at everybody's bios to see.
Damn.
But like there's no way of knowing for sure. But like I think like I guess I don't understand why there's not a desire to be like very rigorous about like trying to prevent that. And it was crazy in the Ava Chris Tyson DM, like the Discord shit, where it was like one of the kids was like, "Hey, I don't really know that this NSFW channel should just be open to everybody. Like, we're minors."
Oh,
Yeah.
did
Like
they
one of
say
the
that?
kids, like
One
one of
of
the
them did,
minors
yeah.
in the Discord
Oh,
server was
that's
like,
crazy.
"I don't think that we
I
should
didn't
have
see that.
access
And
to
then
this.
and
Like,
then
this is weird."
Ava says, I'm not a parent. So like, in
Yeah, like I'm
response,
not a
like,
parent. It's not my responsibility.
Yep.
But
It's
it's your
like, how am
Discord
I
and your
supposed to prevent
responsibility.
it? What am I supposed to do? It's like there are rules in Discord for a reason, but
Yeah.
also
Yeah.
like, why
It's
would you be
literally a
opening
click of
that?
a button.
Yeah.
If you guys, I assume this is going to be a yes from both of you. If you guys could flip a magical switch right now that prevented all kids from being on the internet until they're 18, would you?
Yep.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Just like
Agreed.
on like Discord and like all that, because yeah,
Just
Yeah.
I'd say fucking anywhere.
like all internet. Yeah, you're
on the
right.
entire
It's too
internet, you
unregulated.
can't
It's
access it.
dangerous. There is no
Yeah.
safe place on the internet. Even if you go onto
Yep.
YouTube Kids, there's weird, suggestive, gross.
Oh, the whole Elsa,
dangerous
yeah,
content.
Elsagate. You familiar with Elsagate?
Yeah.
That shit was
I mean,
wild.
a lot of that shit still exists to a certain extent
Yeah.
all over the place. Like it's not. I don't think that there's any part of the internet that is truly safe for children, and I don't think most parents have the time or ability to actually regulate it enough to keep them safe. Absolutely 100% you should take kids off the
Yeah.
internet.
Mhm.
I just don't think it's safe at all. I don't think it
I
ever
think
has been.
the only thing I ever hopped on the internet really for when I first got my phone was applying to be a lifeguard. That's pretty much it. I
Being a
got a
lifeguard
job.
seemed like it would be so fun, and then it was so ass when I actually became a lifeguard.
I was a lifeguard for like 4 years. It was
Yeah.
awful. The first 2
Yeah.
years, I feel like lifeguarding for the first 2 years is probably the best starter job for like anybody. But then after that, it loses its value.
Lifeguarding was mega
So
super boring.
speaking of like the
Yeah.
MrBeast stuff, like
For me, it was crazy.
speaking of the MrBeast stuff, what about how do you guys feel about all of like the new stuff that's coming out about him faking his videos and the giveaways and the
Yeah.
allegations of him promoting unhealthy chocolate to kids? Did you guys watch or hear about that like 50-minute
Yeah.
I worked for
Let
Mr.
me-
Beast sort of thing?
Yeah, I watched a Mudahar video. I actually just posted my react to it on YouTube.
Nice plug.
Yeah, you're welcome. Hey,
this link.
it's my podcast. I'm gonna do what I gotta do.
Yep.
So, shameless self promo on my channel. But essentially, just to like keep people up to date, and so that like if you guys don't know, the main allegations are that he did illegal, essentially. What is it called? It's not a raffle. It's a lottery, illegal lotteries.
Yeah.
Mhm.
He was doing illegal lotteries on Facebook Lives a couple of years ago. I don't know if that happened in more recent years, but it was in like 2020. He was doing illegal lotteries.
Yeah.
It
He was streaming that
was,
shit on YouTube too.
Was he really?
It was up on Facebook because he was like multicasting.
Oh,
He did it on
okay.
YouTube as well, but it was taken down from YouTube and it was still up on Facebook Live.
Okay, so he was doing illegal lotteries where essentially he was like selling shirts, and it's like, if you buy one of these shirts right now, you could win $5,000 basically, and you can't do that because it's a lottery.
Right.
And it's illegal. Just like it's the same reason, like on Twitch, you can't only do a giveaway to subscribers. It has to be.
I only
everybody
found out
who
recently.
I also found that out recently because I almost did that. Yeah,
I also found out you can't promise VIP to people gifting subs or anything like that.
Wait, you can.
Oh,
Oh, that's
really?
right. I forgot about that.
I did not know
wild.
that.
Yeah, it was. He was also like selling fake, like they were fake signatures, which like I personally don't really care about because that happens a lot in like VTubing where they're like fake signatures or it's like a stamp or whatever.
Yeah, I
But
feel like
I
that
understand why
part was
people
blown.
don't like that.
That part was sort of blown out of proportion. Like, unless he specifically say like you're getting a signature from MrBeast, signed by MrBeast, it's like 99% of those things, like the memorabilia, like you guys have seen like the memorabilia plaques that have like the signature on there. Like it's a printed signature on the piece of memorabilia. The person didn't actually sign that thing.
Yeah, and so there was that. There was the like Willy Wonka shit, where it's like it's kind of a lottery, but technically it's not because they do an ability to enter it for free because a lottery is like you pay to enter to win.
Yeah.
So there is technically a way that you can enter to win without paying if you just do it in this very specific way on a note card with these specific words on it, and it's way more complicated than just buying the fucking chocolate bar and hoping that you and so there was that. There was evident like his videos are being like faked, like the results are being faked, which had already been pretty public. So I don't know why people were so surprised about that because that came out last year at some point.
I think the CGI part was like the dumbest part. It's like,
well, it's like
no
the
shit, he uses CGI.
Yeah, of course.
No, do you think he blew up the Earth 30 times? Like, what? No, wait, were people actually making that as a point?
Well, it was like,
so
part
funny.
of it was that like he influences the outcomes of them, because
that was the main.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Technically speaking, because like he would do things where it'd be like, okay, this team obviously has an advantage because there's like this example where like this one kid knew how to solve a Rubik's Cube without looking, and it was like a Rubik's Cube challenge with 2 teams, and he was like, I'll give you double the prize money you could win if you leave right now, so that this team doesn't have so much of an advantage and the video continues to go on.
Yeah.
And so like stuff like that where he very directly like influences how it goes to continue a plot line and to keep the video entertaining. Which like there are laws that kind of cover it, but like really don't because it's YouTube and it's very
not
like there's no
broadcast
precedent
TV.
set. Yeah.
The FCC doesn't apply to things on YouTube.
Yeah. And so there's a lot of stuff where he's just been kind of shady. There's also information that I don't think has been fully verified that he was doing a basically what is it called? Squid Game style game show in Las Vegas that got like really, really like Squid Gamesy, where people were like coming after the women and children to win stuff because they were all
Getting
athletic
like,
contests.
yeah,
Like
people
people were
getting
breaking their
hurt,
bones. People weren't
not getting
given their like
medication.
not getting their seizure medication and
Jesus.
like not getting like proper stuff, like being limited on how much they were allowed to sleep, not getting enough
Mhm.
food. And so like that part is really, really crazy, but I don't think it's fully verified and it like just happened, I believe.
Yeah, I
But
mean,
Wait.
there's
well,
like a lot of
um,
weird shit with
Wow.
like
I didn't hear
contracts and
about this,
stuff.
that stuff.
Yeah,
Just like in
yeah.
yeah.
Squid Game
So
stuff, I mean.
the big thing about that part is, so it was gonna be like, you know how like YouTube has like originals. It was gonna be like a YouTube original
Mhm.
show. So like, who knows? Like, I don't know. I would be not that I want to dismiss it, but like that sounds crazy for like such a big production and like hundreds of people being involved. Like, I don't. That's nuts. How something like that would slip through the cracks with people getting fucked up and shit like that. Like, who
Yeah.
knows?
I'm waiting for more information to come out before I take that like yes 100%,
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
But like there is a lot of like really crazy details where it does seem pretty legitimate with like the like
Hmm.
people being verified as being legitimate sources.
I would be
Um
curious to see what sort of waivers they did sign for this challenge,
yeah,
though,
there was
because
also go ahead, sorry.
if you're going into a Squid Games like challenge, like I don't know, like that sounds like because he wanted to do something like as close to it as possible without literally
Mhm.
killing people, you know. But like going into those, if it was gonna be like a real like I don't know, I'd just be curious to see what sort of language they used in like the contracts.
Yeah, I don't
Because there's like
know.
there's haunted houses out there that you have to sign a contract to go into that says we're gonna fuck you up, we're gonna touch you, we're gonna push you around, we're gonna hurt you.
Oh god, you're talking about McKamey Manor, huh?
I
That
think
shit
so.
is yeah, that shit is so fucked up. But
But
that's
like
a little
if
different because you know exactly what you're getting
sure,
into, where it's like
well
we're literally going to waterboard you.
that well that's why I'm
Like,
saying it's like I want to see the contract. Like what does like
yeah,
does it say like you're gonna get fucked up? You're not gonna have access to 100% of the food you need.
I
You're
don't
not
think
gonna be able to
Mr.
sleep
Beast
8
should be
hours.
doing that type of shit. I'm gonna be
Yeah,
honest.
that's
Like it's Mr.
Sure,
crazy.
Beast and YouTube Premium. That's fucking
sure, but
crazy.
I mean, he's got to always take it a step further, right? This is Mr. Beast we're talking about. His videos are only going to get bigger and crazier.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? Because this is what I've been kind of like thinking about the whole thing is like when these, when an actual production studio for cable television does these kind of productions, right?
Mhm.
The reality is that they don't carry as much risk. They have protections. Not every single episode of every single show has to be like a complete hit banger.
Mhm.
They can do more experimentation. They're not as like it's not like the money in is the money out and that's all they have kind of thing.
Mhm.
Right.
And so like, but they also have time where like usually you're watching several episodes of something, and so they don't have to like intensify and maximize as much drama and storyline in every single second as something like a Mr. Beast video. And
Mhm.
so I guess like my thing is it even possible to do these kind of things on YouTube where it isn't like because it actively incentivizes this kind of like dishonest behavior because he has to make the money back on every video that he makes. And
Yeah.
so it
Mhm.
incentivizes this like dramatization, the dishonesty, the lying, the changing of the influencing of the results and stuff. It influences that because he needs to make as much money off of every video as possible because he's putting so much in.
So
And
my
it's like worrying to
yeah,
me.
I completely understand where you're coming from. My only thing is that like the only like I don't have an issue with it. The only issue that I have with it is how much it's geared towards children and kids in general.
Yes. Mhm.
Because at the end of the day, like as a 33-year-old man, as a former minor, I can look at a Mr. Beast video and go, "Oh, this is reality TV. This isn't
Mhm.
real." Like, yes, it's 99, probably 99.9% of it is staged. It's scripted in some way, and being an adult, you're able to recognize things like that. It's literally no different than reality TV. But because he's pushing it to children so much, because he's pushing chocolate and gambling and lottery, it's like that makes it a little bit
Yeah.
worse. But that's my only my biggest takeaway from it. But that's he may not necessarily be doing anything illegal, like right, like
Not yet.
the
Not illegal
legality.
yet.
Sure,
Yeah.
but like legality and morality are obviously two separate discussions. Morality,
Yes.
moral wise, is it good? No, it sucks, but
Sign this
it,
waiver. You're gonna
yeah,
get blown
Yeah.
up for $1 million.
Well, it's like the thing is like it does bring up a lot of issues around YouTube just generally not
yeah,
being regulated
yep.
properly. But also additionally, just as a personal kind of anecdote, I never really liked MrBeast because my primary my introduction to MrBeast was me talking to my sisters about him, and
Mhm.
the way that they talked about him creeped me the fuck out. I'm just gonna be like, because the way my sisters were like, because I joked around, I was joking, and I was like, "Oh, I want to be a famous like YouTuber. How do you think I should do it?" You know, I'm
Mhm.
asking these like little kids,
Yeah, yeah.
and they're like,
Yeah.
"Oh, you gotta try and copy Mr. Beast's thumbnail and get his attention, and he'll make you famous and make you a millionaire." And like, they genuinely have no idea like how much of that is not legitimate. Like, they think it's all
Sure.
real.
Oh,
They think
wow,
it's all
yeah.
100%. They have no understanding. They have no critical like, I don't know that he's really gonna give me $1 million kind of thing. Like, and it made me feel like uncomfortable because it was like this weird, like cultish thought process and behavior where it was like Mr. Beast, the Messiah, Jesus himself, Mr.
Mhm.
Breast. And it made
Mr.
me
Breast.
super uncomfortable because like kids legitimately don't understand. Like, kids don't always understand what they're being advertised to. Like, they don't understand when things are movie magic. They like, if he says
Mhm.
it's all real, it's all 100% real, none of it is faked. The kids go, Jesus, Messiah himself, Mr. Breast,
But
definitely does for
okay.
real.
But why would he lie?
But why he would never lie to me
Why would
because
he lie?
he's Mr. Breast. And so like,
What does he have to gain from lying?
yeah, that's the thing that's fucked up about it is like
Yeah.
realistically a lot of this stuff doesn't matter because it's kids and they don't have the critical thinking skills to even understand why any of this is important. And so it's I do agree the bigger problem is
Do you think
marketing it as real to kids.
do you think maybe some shady stuff like that outweighs do you think outweighs the good that Mr. Beast does or not really?
I
I
don't
don't,
think
I
it
don't think
matters.
Yeah, you're right.
I don't think that
Because I've
I
seen
don't
that argument a couple times on
yeah.
Twitter. It was like, okay, but he built all this stuff over in other countries and like helped a lot of people, but it's like it's still like shady, you know? Like,
It's shady, but I don't think the bad outweighs the good that he does ultimately.
yeah,
I don't think
It's
the
hard to
scales
quantify.
matter like that. Like, I
Agreed.
think
yeah, yeah. I
Completely
mean,
agree.
I also agree. Yeah,
It's yeah. I mean, it's all rhetorical, right? It's like it doesn't matter at the end of the day. But like, I don't know. I like companies advertise to children all the time. Yes, they're bad, and we all recognize that they're bad. But it's like it's just it is what it is. Like, I mean, I think there's way and not to be like try to shift the topic, but it's like there's way more important shit to worry about on YouTube and things like that, as opposed to just like, oh, he's marketing to kids and he's becoming this idol. Like, I think like the Minecraft community, like the Minecraft content creators, are way more of a red flag than like Mr. Beast is.
I don't know. I hear the gacha content creators are really, really scary and bad.
true, true.
I mean, there's more important things always.
Mhm.
But I think it
I think it's just nice
is.
to think about, just like so
Oh,
that
Yeah.
sure.
yeah,
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 I think it's also like it's just important to understand that like somebody can do a lot of good and also be like kind of a shitty person. Like, I think
sure.
it was Mother Teresa who's like she's like a saint essentially, but she also did a bunch of terrible stuff to poor people, I believe. So
I mean,
like
base,
Mhm.
I actually like her more after that.
Gandhi is Gandhi, but Gandhi also like forced his wife to be part of like his hunger strikes and like was not always the best person ever. Like, it's like,
Got Gandhi will
yeah.
blow your ass up in Civ 5, by the way.
Yeah.
Hey,
He's
bro, Gandhi, don't give a bro. Hey, piece,
Yeah.
hey, yeah, piece of this nuke. Bah!
Yeah.
Yeah,
As
like
soon as the motherfucker gets nukes, he's nuking your ass.
Dude, I want to play Civilization Revolution so bad.
I don't know what that is.
It's so
Ooh.
fun.
It's yeah.
It's the
Uh,
shit.
Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, it's just like people can do good things and also be kind of crappy people.
Yep.
I mean,
Yeah.
Bob Ross cheated on his wife.
Yeah.
Like
Oh my
every
god.
and so it's like
I would love for Bob Ross to cheat on me personally.
I would be okay if it was Bob Ross specifically. But like people do good things and bad things, and those things need to be, like good things don't cancel out bad things, just like bad things don't really cancel out good things, I guess is what I mean to say.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, 100%. I just saw that argument a lot on Twitter, and I figured I'd bring it up
Mhm.
It's
because,
it's a
like,
weird argument to me. It's kind of like one of those arguments where it's like, oh, this game has this problem. Well, but what about these three other games that have that problem too? It's not a problem
hmm
then, is it? And it's like, it's not really a good argument, is it?
yeah,
Yeah,
because
I don't know.
it is like shady, but
I'm
Yeah.
kind of on the other side of you guys. It's like if you could pull a lever and one
Mhm.
person dies, but you save the life of 100 people, would you pull it? Like Dance
Yeah.
for me is yes.
Oh, yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
that's sort of like the ideology, or like yeah, you're doing a bad thing, but you're also doing a good thing as well. So I don't know. I'm
Mr.
torn on.
Beast philanthropy. I mean, 'cause, like the amount of stuff he does do, like the amount of good he's done is freaking in. Like
And that's
I
what
can't
mean.
think
It's
of
like,
many people who have done that much.
yeah.
But it's
Yeah.
like still the shady stuff should it should be like just talked about, just so people know about it and don't completely turn him into this god.
Yeah, it's like okay, so would you pull a lever? You had to
Mhm.
become, you had to advertise to children. You had to sell them chocolate that you claim is good, but you
Mhm.
build 100 wells in Africa.
Yeah, it's like
Would you?
Okay. Well, I have kind of 2 points on that, which is like, okay, so if he also is knowingly doing some shady stuff, and we don't even know how far that goes, right?
Mhm.
Mhm.
How much of that is just to keep continuous goodwill from people so that he can do things the way he wants to do them and maximize profit, right? Because
Mhm.
then we gotta like continue on like the mindset. But also, I guess for me, it's not so much an issue of like, oh, is Mr. Beast a good person? More so, I'm interested in like, I would love for some court cases to be opened up to start creating precedent around regulating YouTube shit, because there's a lot of
Agreed.
fuck ass shit that would not be allowed in other situations on YouTube, especially
Mhm.
with like the family channels and with kids, that I think absolutely needs to be regulated. And
Yep.
I guess for me, what I want is for this to be opening a door to start setting some precedent that
I
is
was to
much
say
needed to
if Mr.
protect
Beast
people.
has to be the catalyst, and he has to be YouTube Jesus. Leroy, I hope you get the reference considering last night.
Yeah.
If he has to be YouTube Jesus, then let's let him be YouTube Jesus.
Yeah.
Let's
We'll
sacrifice
martyr,
Mr.
we'll
Beast.
martyr Mr.
Oh,
Breast
dude, that movie
for the
was
good of
so
us all.
good.
I
But
love
yeah,
YouTube
it's
Jesus.
I want the court precedent stuff, because there's a lot of things that need to be regulated more heavily on Twitch. I think that this is one of those.
Mhm.
And so my honest desire is like, I don't really care if Mr. Beast is a good or a bad person. I was never gonna watch his videos, and I'm definitely not now. I don't care.
Mhm.
However, I am hopeful that we can start like actually talking about the fact that the YouTube is the wild west where people can do like
Oh
whatever the
yeah,
fuck they want to make money, and
yeah,
it's insane.
100%. Yeah, agreed. I will say, I think Mr. Beast are really good reaction videos, though. You're
Yep,
missing out. You're
and good
missing out.
videos. Yep, and just
What do you
eat
mean?
whenever you need to eat some food, you just boot up on Mr. Beast.
Yeah. Yep.
Holy shit! You did what to a train?
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Jesus. I've
Yeah.
never watched Mr. Beast videos just because I just thought the whole thing was weird. I did like some of the advice he would give to like YouTube content creators, because he had a lot of really common sense, like, you just have to make good shit. You can't worry about all that other stuff. Like, you have to make good stuff, make good thumbnails, good titles, good
Oh, I
concepts,
mean,
and
dude's
it
a
all goes from there.
genius. Dude's
Oh
a
yeah.
genius when it comes to content creation. Let's be
Yeah.
real.
Like, one
Yeah,
of my
absolutely.
favorite bits of advice was somebody was like, okay, so how do I get more subscribers on my YouTube channel? And Mr. Beast, his response is like, you go ahead and make 100 videos, and then you can come back to me and talk about it. But
Yep.
don't even think about that shit until you're making something that's actually worth watching. And I
I
was like,
made 2 videos and
thank
I'm not
you.
a millionaire. What happened?
I made 2 videos and I
I
don't
thought
have
this
any
shit was
subscribers.
easy.
Mr.
I
Beast,
thought
can you
this
please
was
tell me the magic bullet?
Mr. Beast, say my name once on a YouTube video, please.
Please, 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 Mr. Beast, please. But yeah, do you guys have anything else that you're interested in talking about? Because we've been going for like 2
That's
hours.
2.5. Yeah.
Yeah, we've been going. Do you have anything else you want to talk about, or anything you'd like to bring up that you're interested in right now?
I don't think so.
Yeah,
Any games you're
same for me
playing? What do
mostly.
you guys probably haven't been
Oh,
playing anything, huh?
Not
I
really.
haven't been playing any gacha, but in my free time, I've been playing the new League Swarm mode, which is
Yeah,
Is
just
it
yeah.
Vampire
good?
Survivor. It's
It's so
so
good.
good.
Is it?
No,
Yeah.
it's literally just it's so fun. It's just
Yep.
Vampire Survivors, but it's like you
Mm.
can play it co-op.
It's a little it is Vampire Survivors, but it is a little less like I don't want to say
Yeah,
complicated, but it's like less. It's more
it's like simple Vampire
welcoming.
Survivors. Yeah,
Yeah.
Mm.
no, it's really fun, and I started playing Helldivers again.
Mm.
Nice.
I've been
Yeah,
playing Dress to
I've
Impress on Roblox.
Oh, stop. Did
Play.
you buy
Yeah,
VIP? Did you buy VIP?
I did. Yeah,
You
Oh my
fuck.
god, she's pay to win. She's a fucking
Yeah,
I
pay
whale.
have
to win.
paid to
Yep,
Oh
pay to
win.
win.
I'm
god.
sorry. I paid to win
Can't
in
believe
Oh
Dress
you.
to
my god.
Impress.
Yep.
I'm sorry. I've been playing Dress to Impress and Elden, and I started playing Dark Souls 3, but the game is very scary.
Dude, Dark
Yeah,
Souls 3 is my favorite game. That's my number one of all time.
it is good.
Yeah,
And the
it's
DLC
hard.
is it's definitely the hardest of the Souls games in my opinion.
It's so like, well, because
Mhm.
it's like all of the like the worst things about Elden when it's like when you're in like a fucking labyrinth and you're being like fucked by rats in a quarter and like you have to turn a quarter and there's just something terrible there. All of that where they're just hiding behind a little like in the dark to just grab you
Dude,
and rip your
like-
throat out. Like there's so much of that in Dark Souls 3, which is rough.
What are they doing in those corners? They're just in there gooning until one guy comes and goes like, "You!"
Yeah. Like there's no like strategic positioning to it either. They're not covering an important angle or anything. They're just standing there jerking it until we come along.
Yep.
Oh
It's insane.
Jesus, dude! When you get to the wait, you said you stopped playing it
I just played like
or
for a
temporarily?
couple hours like one day.
Oh, okay.
It was just because I'm busy.
When you
I
get
get
to
tired.
when you get to the very last boss of the painted or the Ashen World DLC, it's
Mm,
so peak.
yeah.
It's probably my favorite boss fight ever.
Yeah, the game is very mean. It's also very labyrinthine, and I have a poor sense of direction. And so I was just
Yeah.
I was like, Evelyn, please, please tell me where to go. They're chasing
Oh
me.
my
I'm scared.
God.
I'm scared, but please.
A tip I'll give you though is if you're in the swamp area, and you can do this in, I think you might be able to do this in Elden Ring. I can't recall. I don't. Maybe you can. If you have a weapon or if you have a dagger with quick step, you can just quick step through the poison as opposed to walking
Yeah,
and rolling through it.
you can do that in Elden as well.
Okay. I've never tried it in Elden.
Yeah, you can. It still works. Yeah, it works
Yeah,
especially well in new game because you don't have the like slowing when you go
Oh
into
God.
stuff.
Yeah.
Which is really nice. But yeah, I think that's a good place to stop because my editor got to
Yeah.
edit and all that stuff. I don't think we
Yeah.
cussed too much this time, so hopefully we don't have to go through try to get it off of limited
I
ads
cussed
for like
like
2 days.
Hex's editor. I cussed like 5 or 6 times. I know that for a fact. So good luck.
Like, well, sometimes it's like, oh my God, you said one word, I'm gonna come for you, and you will not be getting money on this. And sometimes it'll be like, I can cuss like 6 times, and it's like, yeah, it's chill. It's
Do they
fine.
bleep it out if there's too many?
My editor will just mute it basically.
That's interesting because
So if I were to say, say if I could say it 6 times in a row, would it just be mute for like 5 seconds?
I think that would definitely be muted. But yeah,
That's so funny.
that's all we got. Thank you for joining me. We like barely talked about Gacha this time, but you
Yeah.
know
That was
it's more
really
fun
fun,
that
though.
way. I really had a
Yeah.
great time, and I like
Yeah,
getting
GGs.
to know each other better. Very slay.
Yay.
Slay,
Yay.
bestie time.
I'm on a. Oh wait, I'm on a
Oh
podcast with Hex.
no. Oh no.
Ew.
Yeah, and Shinya. Yeah. Oh, all good. I'll be honest. Like,
Ew. Who is that? Are you living with a man in your house,
He
Laro?
sounded very loud.
yeah.
Oh my.
he sa-
Interesting.
He
Gay.
sounded bald. He sounded really
Yeah,
bald.
why
And they
too.
were roommates.
Why does it sound like he's 6'7" with a beard?
Why does he sound familiar? What the
Yeah.
hell?
Who is that guy?
Interesting.
But yeah, that's the podcast. Thank you for joining me,
Yay.
besties. I
Yeah,
hope you have a
thank
good
you.
time. And I'll see you
Yeah.
guys next Friday, normal time.
Yeah,
Alrighty,
that was
yeah,
great.
sounds good.
Hopefully, I think I'll have more
Alrighty.
topics next time around because I'll be more so online now.
Well, Tectone will hopefully be online and then causing some drama. So we'll have fun
Yay.
to talk about.
Yes.
Yeah,
Save us, Gacha
B.
Jesus!
Yeah, B.
Save us, take time, save us.
Save us, please. I'll see y'all next time.
All right,
GG, guys.
Bye.
Thank you, bye.